Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, gotta fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between, yeah, it's all that. And we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to What's Talk Raps. You're listening to What's Talk Raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Yo, I see that my phone is also playing our theme song, so it's lit.
I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I was looking around like, where's that audio coming from? Now I look down at my phone. But you know what it is. This is Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. Righteous Reg is here as well. Got new music touching down in these streets.
I do. That's correct. New Righteous Reg. New video I just put out. I hope you guys have seen it. RM joined. Like I said, I composed this track this week, did that video yesterday and put it out. So if you haven't seen it, go on my Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or whatever to check it out. Appreciate y'all. It's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster, Saturday morning. It's Grapsody. It's a lot going on as always, and I'm very excited to be here. Phil, what's good with you?
Yeah, we finally got some NBA basketball. That week break or however long it was, I was like, all right, man, let's get to it, man. When's the finals starting? You know, I know you're trying to give both teams a break. Both teams ended their series kind of early, so I was like, man, let's get to it though. So Thursday night, I was sitting in front of my TV, like, yes, let's go. All of you people that have been like, Kyrie's gonna do this. I want Kyrie to win. Rough start for the Dallas Mavericks. Boston Celtics came out and got a decisive win in game 1. That boy Porzingis came to play. We got the news during the week that he was healthy and cleared to play, and that guy came to play.
What'd you call him on Twitter? Zynga or something like that? I was rolling.
Big Zinger? Come on, man. The Zinger came out to play, man. Zinger wasn't playing with them guys, bro.
Nah, for reals. You know, we've been waiting for basketball. Felt like forever. Feel like you're saying since the last game. I had some barbecue, some beer. I was like set, ready to go. Start watching the game, and I'm like, oh, all right. I guess this is what's gonna be. And so Boston was killing them at first. Then Dallas comes back, and it's like, all right, we have a game again. And then Boston starts killing them again. I'm like, all right, we don't have a game. I don't know what this. Your guy Zinger was out there lighting these guys up. They could not do anything in the world to stop him. And if that's not who I think people were worried about, but he came and had an MVP game. And if that's what the rest of the series is going to be like, it's going to be dangerous for Dallas.
Yeah, because Jason Tatum did not play his best game of basketball. He was kind of missing in action. Jaylen Brown had a pretty decent game, but it was a Zinger show. He came out from the beginning, hitting big threes, got a bunch of blocks in the first half. He was on their head tops, man. He wasn't playing.
On the head tops is really funny, but he was though.
He was, like he wasn't playing around, like. And it was so funny because I talked to my dad like 2 days before that, and he's been big on like, nah, Dallas got him. And I was like, I don't know, man. It all depends on if Porzingis plays. I said Porzingis is gonna be a big X factor for them if he can play. And sure enough, he played. I was like, I didn't know I was that right about this, but here we go. The other latest and greatest in basketball news. Last time we were on this podcast, I was talking about how excited about the Sky Fever game was that we were missing because I was on this podcast, and we got off, and Caitlin Clark news was everywhere. Did not expect to see that. Caitlin Clark took a foul in that game, and then that became the dialogue for like 5 days straight. Go figure. I was really surprised that this became such a big thing because I was like, all right, she got a hard foul. It's basketball. It's competitive. And I thought it said it all when she did that press conference the other night. And she was just kind of like, I don't know. It's competition. And like somebody asked her, did Kennedy Carter owe her an apology? Kennedy Carter, of course, is the basketball player from the Chicago Sky that fouled her. And somebody asked her, did she owe her apology? And I was like, no. So I was confused. I was very confused at the why people were so upset. We got we got Stephen A in the midst of this, and Monica McNutt also kind of went viral by clearing him right on up on his own show.
Yeah.
And then he got all upset and got on his own podcast and was kind of cop and please a little bit. And I was like, no. We don't need to hear that. We don't need to hear what you do for women. It looked real nasty for him.
Yeah, when he put his cape on after that, I was like, Stephen A, what are you doing? It was really funny because immediately after the pod last week, you and I we had a good laugh about it. We were laughing about like all the memes, everything.
It was very funny.
So after that, it like blew up. It was everywhere. And we're like, oh shit. And so the thing happened with Stephen A and McNutt on the show. And Stephen A comes with, now you guys know who McNutt is. She was on my show and all. I'm like, what are you? Crazy. What strategy is that? I don't know what you're saying here.
Crazy. We knew who Monica was before she was on First Take. I don't know what you're talking about. At least I know who she was.
Right.
I thought that was wild to try to act like, well, she got a chance to make that point because she was on my show to begin with, and I give women spots on this show all the time. We talk about women's rights all the time. I was like, yikes.
Probably not the one. But yeah, I thought Caitlin Clark handled it pretty well. She's like, no, this is the game. And if she came on and was like, yes, I'm owed an apology, she really would have been power bombed into the ground after that.
Yeah, that would have been a big Karen move for her. I'm glad that she did not do that. But you know, she's handled this well. I thought that she played well. The Fever did win that game by 2 points. Sounds like it was a good game. I was really salty that I missed it. But the next Fever Sky game is on a Sunday, so I should be able to watch it. But yeah, Sky have been playing good basketball. Fever won their game yesterday against the Mystics. I saw it was something like a record sellout for women's basketball, which is crazy. Man, Caitlin balled out yesterday as well. Hit 7 threes on them. I was like, wow. I think that's like a record now, or she tied the record. Sorry for women hitting threes in a pro game. 7 threes is crazy. Some of the threes I saw her hit, I was like, wow. So I mean, look, man, it's basketball. I know now the new thing, based on what I saw this morning, is probably going to be why was she left off the Olympic team? It just, I don't know, guys. Just let her career develop. Let it be what it be. Like, she's playing good basketball. It's going to take a minute for the Fever to get better. Judging by some of those plays I've seen from that Sky game, some of them passes she was throwing to wide open players and they were missing layups. I was like, yeah, it's going to be a minute.
Yeah, exactly. That's what everyone keeps forgetting. Like, these women are destroying and having great ratings, and that 20,000 sellout. I said that's the first one of that kind since 2007. But these are all a bunch of rookies who are still trying to learn the how their teams move, learn their place on the team, learn who they are in the WNBA. And people are already like, well, yeah, there's going to be so many more Olympics. There are going to be so many more opportunities for her to cook. Look at what she did. She took that whole thing, harnessed all that energy into 7 threes. So it's like, that's what the game's going to be. That's basketball in general. And she's going to continue to deal with stuff with like this. Speaking of Stephen A, I saw that clip you reposted of him walking into the Amen intro, and I cried.
Hilarious, man. Nah, him coming in with the lavender suit. First of all, him walking around through the hallways like he was like the Rock at the beginning of an episode of SmackDown.
Right?
I was like, yo, what's going on? But
it's
no,
like pointing to people in the back on the side, like, what are you doing? It's like when Dave came in with the shirt at that one press conference.
But whoever came up with the idea to put the Amen theme over that all-time great theme song, by the way. But no, that was hilarious. Rough week for Stephen A. People also pointed out that he was very much wrong about Porzingis when he got drafted to the New York Knicks. Rough week for him, man. All of the guys in that clip that he was going like, man, you picked this guy over him, and I'm just looking around like, hey, some of these guys are not playing no more. Like, when's the last time you heard somebody talk about Justice Winslow? Like, nah.
I mean, that's kind of the game when you talk as much shit as Stephen A does. Like, you're going to run into things like that. People are going to, when they think you made a mistake, go and find your old tweets, go and find your old videos, go and find your old things. So I'm not surprised about it. I thought the podcast he did was awful. Just handle it more ways. Like, look, you could turn it around just by walking in a place. Like, he could have got everybody's good graces in just by doing that dumb walk-in thing he did.
He could have flipped that a completely different way. When Monica was like, y'all could have been covering this 3 years ago, he could have flipped that at a completely different way. Because all it was a question. I don't think she was trying to get a gotcha off. She just asked the question. You could have either answered it and been like, hey, man, you know, the landscape was different then, and this is why we cover it this way now. Just answer it in a constructive way. But like for him to be like, oh, how dare you? It's like,
when he was like, wow.
Yeah.
I was on the floor.
No, his face and Molly's face right afterwards, hilarious, man. Priceless.
She got him good. Anybody that could be on the ropes like that on national TV, go viral, like, I mean, seeing how he reacted to it makes sense because he probably was embarrassed, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay to be wrong sometimes.
That's it. It's simple as that.
It's okay. And it isn't even a matter of being wrong. I think in a lot of these things, people get so caught up in, oh, this person is trying to get a gotcha off. And it's like, no, you could have just continued constructive conversation. It's cool.
Yep.
I don't know. But I think him getting so defensive kind of proved her point. And I don't think he realized that he proved her point, but it is what it is. Big shout outs to Pat Sajak, man. I saw this all last night that Pat Sajak is officially retiring after 40 years of hosting Wheel of Fortune. That's a long time to be hosting any show.
Pretty much all the Wheel of Fortune we've ever watched in our lives, Phil, this guy has hosted it. Every time we've watched Wheel of Fortune, it's been this guy. I can't imagine, like, for 40 years having to wake up and go, like, there's not been one day he's like, I don't want to do Wheel of Fortune. They're like, get in there, dude. You have to. For 40 straight years.
Get in there and, spin that wheel, buddy. What are you talking about? Get in there.
There's no days off in this wheel spinning, bro. You better get in there.
Bro, they had Vanna White up there turning the letters when she was pregnant. You gonna get up there and spin this wheel, my guy. Like, I don't know what you think this is. You gonna get out there and spin this wheel, my guy.
Yeah, no, shout out to the homie Pat Sajak, though. My uncle was on Wheel of Fortune and he won, so he's a part of
Really?
That. Yeah, he was.
That's awesome.
He went on there and he won a car, and like, there's a video of it somewhere. So super interesting. There's that connection to that. But yeah, like I said, I've been watching this guy for our entire lives. Apparently, Ryan Seacrest is going to replace him, and people are like, "Can Ryan Seacrest?" I'm like, I think he might have been built for this, right? He's kind of been built in a factory for this.
I think he'll be fine, but it won't feel the same without Pat, man. Like, we've watched Wheel of Fortune for decades. Used to be a staple in our household. My grandma used to watch Wheel of Fortune all the time, like all the way up to her passing. Like, I could think of just like sitting in a room next to her, like nah, it's whatever. I'm trying to solve the puzzle, and she's just like, nah, it's this, and it's just like this, bro. It's a staple. So, man, shout out to Pat Sajak, man. What a great career. Congratulations on retirement.
40 years, bro. That's crazy. 40 years is insane.
That's insane. Which, speaking of which, I also saw this morning Ghostbusters turned 40 today. Which, what? It's apparently Ghostbusters came out in 1984, so turned 40 years old today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Time. What is it? Where is it? It's approaching. Hey, that's your birthday's coming up, man. Anniversaries are happening. That's what it is.
It's a lot happening, buddy. But yeah. That's wild to think about. Like, when you think about because somebody just took the words right out of my mouth, because somebody just chatted us Ernie Hudson. Man, when I think about how that was supposed to be Eddie Murphy's role, you know the story behind this, correct? That initially that was supposed to be Eddie Murphy playing the role in Ghostbusters, and the role was completely different for him. And then Ernie Hudson came on, and they completely changed the role on him after he had accepted it. So he thought he was going to have like this big speaking part and all these other things. Nope. Just pulled the rug right from under him. Did my man dirty. When you look at some of the old covers, they just have like, all of the people that we know, like Bill Murray, rest in peace, of course, Harold Ramis, and Dan Aykroyd on the cover, but they don't have Ernie there. And I'm like, man, what's going on with this, man? There are 4 Ghostbusters, bro.
That was going to be a completely different movie. If Eddie Murphy was in that role, he would have been like the focal point because he was the biggest superstar in the world at that point. And the movie would have been, the franchise would have been completely different with Eddie as the head of it. And they turned the Ernie Hudson into like, just like the token black guy. Like, oh, he's also here though, and he'll burn some down. And he has a couple lines. It's so weird because I just saw somebody said he looks in amazing shape. Like they were thirsting over Ernie. They were thirsting over Ernie Hudson on the timeline. I'm like, y'all can't be thirsting over Ernie Hudson. What's going on here?
Hey man, get it how you live, Ernie. Still out here raising them up. Like I guess
70 up, yeah. I know when I'm 78, yeah, same thing, big dog. I'm with you. I'm all with you. 40 years though, it's so crazy. Like to think it's been like rebooted and revamped and animated. Like how many different things it's happened. It doesn't feel like 40 years, but then also like 1984, man. Like it's crazy.
Wild, man. Still one of my favorite movies. Still incredibly quotable. I did not realize until like a few years ago that people don't like Ghostbusters 2. I think I was just saying this on Twitter a while back, but apparently people don't like Ghostbusters 2, and I'm just like, but it's great. It's funny. You got the Bobby Brown record of the soundtrack, which is classic.
Big hitter.
Several classic lines. That courtroom scene at the beginning that I quote constantly. I thought it was great, but Twitter will always find a way to show you people that hate something that you love. I don't know.
Yeah, there's like these bunch of nostalgic things where I was like, we know what was bad. That's kind of the point. We weren't judging things off 5 stars and the greatest things of all time. They're just like our part of our childhoods, and people are like, looking back, wasn't this actually the worst thing you ever seen? It's like, bro, why do we have to change the narrative? And like, what if I liked it? I don't know. What do you want from me? I still like it at this point. It hits some nostalgic point in my brain that makes me enjoy Power Rangers or Three Ninjas or Ghostbusters. You know what I mean?
No, it's great, man. I think Villain is great. Of course, Vigo. There's so many things that I love about that movie, but apparently, it is
you're
what it
minority. Is. No, you're in the minority, not you're a minority.
I'm sure somebody is lining up to remind me that I'm a minority.
Both.
But yeah, I haven't seen the new one yet. I will watch it eventually, but haven't seen it yet.
They put out another, since they did the one with the women, it's not that anymore, right?
No, they've got 2 of them since then. They've got the one,
like Paul Rudd's a part of it now.
Yeah, with Paul Rudd and the kids that are in it. I can't remember the name of it. The new one is like Frozen Empire or something like that. But I haven't seen it. The last one before that was good though.
I'd be down to watch it. Speaking of movies, are you going to watch the new Bad Boys? They're doing a lot of press. You see Martin and Will Smith legit everywhere at this point.
Bro, Will Smith has been outside, man. It's really cool to see. Really cool to see people showing him love again. I see people keep trying to bring up this slap and bring it down, and I'm just like, nah, that's old news, man. Will is still Will. He's still a legend in his culture, man. And so coolest. It's cool to see him getting so much love from people. Women are again showing up and thirsting over him as well, which Will again legendary. We're talking about legendary for raising women up, man.
Yeah.
His catalog is in the records.
Big time. Yeah, it's really dope to see. Every time I just think like this guy was just like a rapper that they were like, hey, do you want a TV show? And then like that spawned into him being one of the greatest Black people in the history of anything. And so when the whole slap thing was happening, there was never one moment where I was against Will Smith, like ever, where I was like, nope, he did wrong. No, he did what he did and he'll do it again. And when people were against, I'm like, how could you be against Will Smith, dude? Like, if you took Will Smith to that point, there was a reason. Like, he's not going to do anything just for nothing. You know what I mean?
I, of course, am not going to condone violence.
No, of course not.
And I don't agree with what he did. But I never watched that and was like, we got to get Will Smith up out of here. I was like, nah. And furthermore, afterwards, I was sitting here like, nah, this guy's a legend. This guy, after this, at that after party, doing Kid Jiggy with it, with the Oscar in his hand, like, none of that happened, bro. One of the greatest things I've ever seen. Legitimately one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Legendary character, legendary life, legendary person. So yeah, I think I'm gonna I haven't been to the movie theater in a while. I think I'm gonna pull up to watch it.
Yeah, I did enjoy the last one. I'm gonna check it out.
Me too.
So, but I mean, Bad Boys movies they're always pretty good. There's no bad Boys movie.
No. Some people are like sequels too many, this blah blah blah. I'm like, no, keep them coming. Like all the Bad Boy ones hit for me. Like get Will Smith and Martin Lawrence to do comedy one-liners together. I'm all in.
Yeah, good to see Martin still out and about, looking healthy as well. That for some reason people were like, "Is he okay?" Because I guess like
I keep seeing these weird conspiracy theories about Martin.
Yeah,
it's weird.
But he seems like he's fine. Good to see those two together again. Good to see that their friendship is still a thing. I mean, this has been going since the 90s.
Long time. Oh, this is 30 years. It says the first one came out in 1994.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We old, Phil.
Wow.
Just jacked you up.
I did not know, but I guess that does make sense. But yeah wow.
94, 30 years, man.
But yeah, I'm gonna check it out. Before we get into some more wrestling news and to get into more happy things, rest in peace to Superbad, Santana Starks, local Chicago wrestler that was just murdered recently, a victim of gun violence, unfortunately. I guess as the story goes, he was trying to protect his daughter. Really, really sad to hear. Condolences to his family and his friends. He's got a GoFundMe out there for his family if you want to support. It should be in the bio, but I'm gonna retweet it and everything as well again right after this, just in case if people want to contribute. Yeah, I mean, I know the reputation that Chicago has for gun violence, and so to hear a wrestler lose their life as a consequence of it really, really sucks. And this seems like this is someone that was a part of the independent wrestling scene here for a while. So yeah, again, condolences to his family and his friends.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to when you hear about a wrestler passing, it's always like a shock, and it's always crazy because like you always hear the stories of the rest, like we were just in a show yesterday, we were just in blah blah blah, and so when you get the story and it's something as wild as this, it's always like your brain can't compute it. Like I do, you like how does things like this happen? And people try to put it on Chicago, people try to put it on Oakland, people try to put it on blah blah blah, and it's just like there's some things that are inevitable and never going to change and kind of awful and terrible, and we just kind of have to I don't know what we have to do. My entire life they haven't came up with the solution, and I don't know if they will for the rest of my life, but yeah, rest in peace to the whole homie and condolences to his family.
Yeah, big downer. I almost feel like this is where Joe Budden would play outstanding. But again, rest in peace. Sure, we've got some super chats and humper chats, I believe. If you want to send us your humper chats, humperchats.com/Fightful. And, of course, if you want to be a part of the conversation, send us your super chats.
If you want to be a part of the conversation, join your boys, Reg and Phil, talking super chats, humper chats, whatever else you want in the world. We always appreciate you guys for submitting and joining us. Y'all are dope. We only have one super chat at the moment. It's just from the homie Eloquent, who says, new joint dope, Reg. Eloquent, when coming from someone like you, really appreciate it. It hits a little bit harder when someone that knows says it. Yeah, of course, anyone that says anything or gives me love for the song, really appreciate y'all. Gave it up to the homie Phil in the new song too. If you guys give a couple bars in there, but a little listen. Oh, we got another super chat in here. Carlos Candido says, hey, Reg and Phil. Reg, are you attending the West Coast Wrestling Prestige and Deadlock Pro Wrestling show in San Francisco on July 20th? It's going to be my first indie show and hope to see you there. Carlos, 1000%. Yes, I will be there. If you guys didn't know, West Coast Pro Prestige Wrestling and Deadlock Pro have a partnership, and they're going to start exchanging talent and doing things, and they're going to do a big super show here on July 20th, and I'm super stoked about it. But yeah, Carlos, I'll see you there, man. That show's going to be amazing.
sounds dope. That's when, July 20th.
July 20th. Yep.
Yeah, I believe Ashe has their 4th show coming up as well on
Mhm.
Juneteenth.
Yes.
Uh, Kendrick Lamar is also coming up
I'm
that
saying,
week on June.
Juneteenth is a good day.
Well, actually, I think the Ashe show is on the 20th, so it's not
Okay.
on that day of Juneteenth, but it's the same
Mhm.
week of Juneteenth. But on Juneteenth, that's when the Kendrick Lamar show is, which is going to be on Twitch and Amazon Prime. If you could not get a
Thank
ticket, like most
God.
people,
Yeah, yesterday you were like, "Are you going to that show?" I was like, "If I could get a ticket, totally." But there was the people on Twitter. There was like 60,000 people in the queue or something, and I'm like, "There's no way." You know what I mean? So thanks to Kendrick, it's going to be streamed on Twitch and Amazon Prime, I guess. Shout out to him because we have to see this. I know there was going to be videos and clips out, but I hope this, because I've seen this trend is regular now of every concert is just cell phones. The shows being recorded. I see the thing this at wrestling shows when someone's sitting and recording the whole show. I'm like, dude, this is on TV. Why are you recording this with your cell phone? I hope this is streaming. You don't have to record with your cell phone the whole time. Just enjoy the moment.
yeah,
Or am I old? Am I old head?
people are gonna continue to stream everything, or get selfies and everything. People are gonna keep their phone in front of them the whole time because that's where we are in life.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Eloquent also says Mina Serena Deeb last night went crazy. Yeah, that match.
They did.
Mina came in House of Fire on Dynamite and had a super fire match with Serena Deeb last night. Legit one of the best Rampage matches, women's matches that there have ever been.
Yeah, no, that was fire. Mina is a hooper, man. I gotta put some
Big
respect
time.
on her name.
Big time, huge time. Oh, hey, my friend Denise Salcedo, co-host of California Connection, says a yellow super chat to match Reg's hat. It's orange, Denise.
Is it? It looks yellow.
I'll see. Everybody's colorblind over here.
It looks yellow.
Orange hat, brother. It's orange hat. Or maybe I'm the one that's colorblind. No, it's my
maybe
orange
it is
hat.
orange. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's my orange hat.
It looks yellow.
It's my orange hat. And then our friend Bragov says, thank you, Denise. Appreciate you. See you not next week since you're going to not Saudi Arabia. Clash at the Castle. Bragov says, happy Grapsody Day. Forbidden Door is going to be so good. Cannot wait. I really hope Danielson wins the championship in AEW. It would just hit different. Appreciate you as always, Bragov. Bryan Danielson, we're going to get into it because he might be trolling us. But yeah, Forbidden Door is already
talk about.
Forbidden Door is already kicked into very high gear. We're going to get into it.
Yeah. Yeah. See. I've been to some of these HumperChats.
Oh, we got another one from our Van Twinblade too. Shout out to Van Twinblade. Y'all see the James Gunn Superman cast list? Nicholas Hoult, the zombie from Worm, is playing Lex. I know he can do smarmy, but can he do evil?
I think that's good casting. I know they put out the first image for it. I'm looking forward to it. I think the Superman show that they have on HBO Max is really good as well. I think we're like 3 episodes into the second season.
That's all our super chats. Appreciate y'all.
Right, just like I have no idea what you're talking about. He's like, I guess.
No Superman lore for me.
Okay. No Superman lore for you. You leave that conversation for me. See, we've got some HumperChats from Tony P. He says, first of all, fuck the basketball guys, then fuck all the weirdos putting their broke 2 cents in a WNBA conversation like they've been watching it since the beginning. Yeah, there's been a lot of weird talking points around it. I mean, I think it's great. I think it's great that people are supporting the women more. But yeah, some of this has been a little bit weird.
It's women, of course. It could never be just normal conversation, and how it always has to be taken to like, well, why is it here? I thought we were talking about basketball.
Yeah, I think that's the other part about this that I think is strange. I think Bomani kind of said it perfectly that a lot of people that talk about sports or these things have a hard time talking about it when it includes women for some reason. And it turns into we have to start babying these women, or I don't know, man. Like, it's fine. She's been playing basketball for a while. I think she can take a hard hit. I think people try to baby her and act like, how dare they do this to her? And she's not making a big deal of it at all. Is just kind of strange. It kind of reminds me of the conversation we have with women's wrestling sometimes, where people are like, oh, well, look at that bump. That looks scary. It's like, I think they can handle it. They're wrestlers. Like, I don't know.
And the whole kind of race thing that they've been adding behind it has been pretty nasty too. I'm like, how did we get here?
I mean, well, crazy enough. And I've seen people make this comparison a lot so far, is that this feels like when Magic and Bird really kind of pushed the league to another level, and how it turned into a race thing with Magic and Bird. And it's kind of the same thing that's happening right now with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. And so, unfortunately, some of that stuff leads people to watch. And I do think it's going to help the rivalry with the Sky and Fever. But yeah, we're going to have to deal with a lot of annoying discourse in the meantime.
Crazy that in 2024 we can still do like a race thing.
Yeah. Listen, man. Don't get me started. We still have a long way to go in that conversation.
Right.
More from Tony P. He says, I mean, you got a congressman bitching about how Hart fouls instead of doing his job or explaining that crazy ass 2025 bullshit. But I'm not being petty. That goes to hometown girl, DMV's own Monica McNutt. SAS was put in his place beautifully. Yeah, again, shout out to Monica, man. I think all the appearances she's had outside of First Take this week have been great. Definitely seizing the moment. I think that's dope for her.
She's good, really good.
From Nelson Mutz, he says, Wagwan, guys. This week I learned 3 things. I hate Toronto now because of Wagwan Delilah. Drake is like the Teddy Ruxpin doll because he just repeats stuff from tapes. Women matches in AEW have way too many standing switches. Yeah, that whole Wagwan Delilah thing was definitely interesting. I don't think it bodes well that these two guys got on that first person shooter record, and we're talking up the big 3. And ever since Kendrick popped back out making records, these two have put out some bad music, and he's been putting out great music. Yeah.
I watched the video. You saw the video of Plain White Tees listening to it, and they're like, "Oh, this is AI." I'm like, "Is this AI?" I don't know. It kind of sounds like AI.
AI? I don't know.
Because the Plain White Tees guys are like, "This sounds like AI." I don't know why people are tricked that this is Drake. And his camp came out and said this is real, because the whole premise behind it is like, what the guy apparently, I don't know the guy's name, is like a joke comedian. And
maybe
he like does comedy songs out in Canada, and like Drake, after all that happened, why would you allow this to come? If it's real, why would you allow that to be one of the songs that comes out post of them saying all this crazy shit? And then so you hear the song and you're like, oh my God, who, what, how? Like, well, how did this team allow this, Phil?
I have no idea. But yeah, that record is it's a thing. I don't know if it's a real thing, but that clip was going around everywhere. And yeah, I mean, even if you're not going with the Wagwan Delilah record, the verse on the Sexy Red record as well, like this Sexy Red record is not good.
Even if you're going with the Wagwan Delilah, just the title of it is so absurd.
No, the Sexy Red record is not good. I'm not a fan of that Grippy verse from Cole either. And I mean, I like the Might Delete Later. I think that's a good tape, but that verse and
I'll just let Kendrick be right, I guess. Good for Kendrick.
It's looking like it's looking crazy. Hold on. We actually have a guest, guys.
Wagwan Delilah. Not Cresta for anybody who thought she was supposed to be here, and then life is life. Shout out to her homegirl Cresta.
That's his life. We got the homie Teasy in the building. Hold on, let me.
Teasy, what's up?
Teasy, what's up?
They not like us.
What's going on, bro?
They not like us, brother.
Mm-hmm.
He came on right in
Man.
time for the Wagwan Delilah talk, and I was just like, yeah, record's just not for me. Even if it's not real, I'm just like, yeah, nah, keep it.
Nah. That or the Sexy Red record can get out of here, bro. Both of them can get out of here, bro.
What
Nah,
I mean,
not feeling that.
I'm kind of feeling at this point, Teasy, he's trying to show like I am untouchable. I am like there's all this talk of like nothing can touch this guy. He's Teflon, he's blah blah blah. He's probably just like, let's see if I'm really Teflon. Are you guys, because before this battle, people would have took both of these songs and been like, this is great. We love Drake, he came through. But people are looking at him with a different light at this point.
Yeah, he's under a microscope, and I don't think that makes it better.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I think that. Yeah, I think this is what I think. I think that record-wise, he'll probably always have a song that'll always be big. But as far as the culture, it's like the streets where it really matters, like the credit and like that crowd, like the respect. I think that's gonna take a long time, if not gone, the way Kendrick did it. I think that's wiped out. I think he'll probably still be able to put out songs, and like he could put out stuff in the pop world, the R&B world, still have the #1 streaming song and all that. But like the hip hop world, like the credit that he was going for, like the admiration and stuff from like us, the crowd. You know how artists want to go for that side too, not necessarily just make the records. They want like the respect, you know what I mean, from the other not other MCs, but like the people and all that. I think that's been tainted a bit. He'll be around, but that respect that everybody was like, oh man, you know what I mean? Oh man, this is he's doing this and that. I think that's the way Kendrick did it. It's gonna be hard to overcome that.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be fine eventually, but it's gonna take a minute. This is the worst we've seen public perception wise. The Drake camp has looked, but this is what it is. You got new music coming out this week, next week, right?
Yeah, man. So my follow-up sophomore album, Erica's Son 2, will be out Wednesday. It will be out Wednesday on all streaming platforms. I'm excited, brother. I'm back outside. It feels good. It also feels good to work on something that's not wrestling. so I get an opportunity to man, look here. So I get to, I'm putting out an album, Erica's Son 2, which is just the base of my life, everything that's been going on these past 3 years from the first installment. I'm grateful. It's been a wonderful journey. I'm glad I'm back outside. And as much as everybody knows me for putting out wrestling music as often as I do, I'm kind of the opposite with my personal stuff because I treat it very serious. I got to live a little bit. I can't just put out songs like that. It's like the opposite of wrestling where I can kind of just do it. But in this situation, it's different because I got to live. I took the Dr. Dre detox approach with this one, which I didn't want to, but I've been working on this album since 2021, and I just finished it literally last week of May. So I was like, okay, I'm done. Like I gotta put this out, or I'm literally gonna be sitting here staring at these 16 songs in the studio session and still milling over it. So I'm putting it out the 12th. Erica's Son 2, obviously, the AEW World Champion Swerve's on there. I got Twista on there, Rich Boy, Music Soul Child, being known as the Hustle, his rap alter ego on this. I have obviously Anthony King. Shout out to our brother Anthony King. He's on there. Made some beats on there, and yeah, man, I look forward to getting your guys' feedback on it, man. If you guys want to review it, see what you think. And man, just honest opinions, nothing taken personal. And it's great, man. I'm happy to be back outside. It feels good. And Phil, I know I recently just saw you at Swerve Celebration, so it was good to run into you too. So for sure.
Yeah, it's good to see you in St. Louis. believe I saw you somewhere else, like right before that. I don't remember, but all these things blur together at this point. Yeah, last time you were here, if I remember correctly, that was right before Who We Are came out. Right, Reg? Was that?
That was the last time we talked to him, and there's some rumors and some rumblings that some other things are happening, I think.
Yeah, there's rumors that there's a part 2 coming. I think around that time we also did like spaces together where we talked to some of the artists. What'd you make of like some of the reception to Who We Are? Because it was an interesting time online for sure. Like there was a lot of positivity, but then you had this crowd that was basically like, "Oh man, why are they doing this? Are you guys trying to pander?" And it was weird to see it from the outside looking in because based on everything I know from like, behind the scenes in certain circles, I'm like, no, this is like a bunch of creators coming together and like doing something dope.
Okay, I think Reg is gonna understand this from the musician side, what I'm about to say, and I think he'll get it. The more you do certain things, especially in this reign of where we're at in the wrestling world, especially in the music world, and Reg will know this, the more you cannot make everybody happy in this, man. You can do the 100% right thing. You can try to get everybody together. There's no egos. Everybody working together. Outside of my fake reggae thing for Jade's track, I'll never forget that. But I will never do that again. You're like, you know what? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, let's just throw ideas out there. Let's make it happen. Then we try to do the right thing, and it just doesn't. You can't make everybody happy. But the initial thing of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish, I think it was a great idea. I think it was great for all of us to come together. I think it's a great idea for AEW to do. I think that it was innovative, and people forget this is a very young company, even younger than it is it was younger at that time than it is now. And shout out to them for wanting to do something like that, because the wrestling industry wasn't really trying to do anything like that for a period of time, and give us our credit and not say that one person did it. You know what I mean? And everybody got their credit, everybody got their shine. AEW had a showcase that me and Reg and you guys there, we all performed on. So it was, it was a great opportunity, but you can't make everybody happy. There'll be criticisms. I don't know why it's called pandering. You know what I mean? The wrestling music industry is not going to grow if we don't give opportunities and have people do stuff like this. You know what I mean? It only have to be me. You have talented guys like Reg and other people that can carry it. So we all came together, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, it felt like for me, at that time, it's still the same. AEW has so much scrutiny and people are just looking for anything to kind of throw at them. And so this felt like on the outside, people thought we were pandering, but we had planned this for months. We had did so many things to try to establish what this was. And I just in my case, I wanted to pay tribute to my friend. I wanted to pay tribute to people I thought were dope. So that started I'm going to put out art and not look at what people are talking about it. I'm not going to blah, blah, blah. Cause I just know it has, when it feels good to you and then you read about people making their own assumptions, putting their own shit on, just changes the perception of it. And I can't live like that. So since then, it actually was a lesson for me. I'm now like, I could put out my art. I could put out anything and just let it live. And if people react how they want, I don't care, because they're going to do that anyways. They react to my opinions on my podcast and my opinions on Twitter all the time. So that's just what the life it is. I'm still happy that we got to do that. That thing's in the museum, the African Museum of Music Museum. I can't even remember it.
It's the National Museum of African American Music or something.
There you go. Thank you, Phil, for saving me. It's in there. And like when I randomly think about that, because I randomly think about that all the time, I'm like, dude, that's insane.
It is. That's a great accomplishment.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that all of us are a part of it. I'm glad all of us were able to do that. I'm glad we were all able to cement ourselves in a piece of history, man. We're all a part of something with this wrestling industry that is still growing. And my initial goal is just to try to my goal in this now is just to try to take the stigma of quotation wrestling music. Realize, man, it's just great music at the end of the day. It doesn't have just to be under one category, or you know what I mean. You could play this on the radio like you can play a Drake record, a Kendrick record, or anything like that. You could put this right next to it, and it'll still have it'll hold up and have hold the same value no matter who's making it. Me, Reg, anybody. You know, it can hold up. You know, and it's just waking people's minds up to say, hey man, don't just put this under quotation wrestling music. It's great music. You could play it anywhere. It might be about somebody, but it's great. It's great music, and it can be played universally. You know, and that's the fight in the good fight that I'm in. That stage in my career that I'm at right now is just saying, hey, all of us are doing this, and we're all making great things. Play this everywhere. It's not just a certain demographic. Like, we should be able to hear this outside of a Wale Mania once a year. You know what I mean? This should be everywhere all the time. So, yeah.
Now, TZ, you like you talked about it, you've done a bunch of themes for people. I think there's a contingent of rappers like me and people that kind of look at it on the outside, and it's like TZ keeps getting them, and like you said, there's more than just you. Do the people know that they can call other people to do themes, or like, are you hoarding out there? Do we know like TZ has this other side where he's like, only call me for that? Like, what's going on here? Like, because I'm happy for you. I love, like, every time I'm like a new theme and I'm like, oh, there's TZ rapping again. I'm like, I'm with you, but like there are other rappers. Help me out here, TZ.
You know, thank you for bringing this up. Thank you for bringing this up, because I don't get this question often, and in this stage of my career, I've actually heard that from people before, and not in a bad way, but I understand what you're saying. So let's address this, and thank you for asking me that, good sir.
Of course.
So naturally, I get a lot of requests from either people in the wrestling industry. A lot of times, it's a lot of requests from people in the wrestling industry that wants the record. I'm not the kind of person that's just fishing out, saying, hey, let me do this, let me do that. And a lot of times I get hit up, and because the demand has been so strong for how long it's been, I naturally get hit up. And not everything, honestly, that I do get accepted. It's the way that I market it. And with me, I'll say, coming with like the Lil Wayne approach to the industry, it's helped me out with the branding and saying, hey, he's always in the studio, he's always working. Let's and a lot of the let's hit him up, and then a lot of the wrestlers have direct communication with me and hit me up to want a record. You know, I'm actually happy for others. Like, there's a lot of artists that I have mentored or passed stuff to. Like, shout out to my man Ed in North Carolina, or certain people where it's like, I'll see people on Facebook or something that'll say, hey, I need a wrestling theme, and I'll just tag them. I'll be like, hey man, this dude makes dope music. I don't need to be on everything, because you can also risk, I've actually scaled back a little bit, because you can also risk overexposure. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And I did a lot for so long that if you end up doing a little too much, that you can get into the overexposure part. You know what I mean? I feel like now I can pick and carefully choose my spots on which ones that I do, because it not only does it help the brand, but I'm always very careful on how things look. You know what I mean? Very careful on how things look. And as an artist, especially somebody from the other side, if you're an artist yourself or somebody on the other side, I can understand that feeling. I can understand how that would look from the other side, and you'd be like, well, damn, you know what I mean? Well, damn, he how the hell is he getting on? How the hell is he doing all this? How the hell is that? It's just human nature, brother. It's human nature. You know what I mean? I'm not oblivious to that. You know what I mean? But I also am like, what I don't want is to end up like, no pun intended, outside the battle, but like a Drake. I don't want to end up like that. You know what I mean? Where it's like, well, damn, like That's why I'm like, you know what? It's album time right now. Let me do my album. Let me focus on this part of my career. You know, me and Swerve did 3 group albums. Now he's doing his own thing. I got my thing going on. Now let me do the other part of my career. And so to answer your question directly, Reg, I've kind of delegated on certain things now. I don't hop on everything else. Like, okay, I got the Jet. Now I did Shane Taylor. Might be something else in the sidelines of certain people at a certain place. And then the rest I'll just delegate, brother. But I get it, because if the shoe was on the other foot, I'd be like, what? Yo, goddamn! Like, I'll feel you. I love him, but shit.
But see, man, that's something I thought that was dope about who we are, is that there were a bunch of guys that have done wrestling teams, whether that be like Josiah or like Tizzy and those guys, and like seeing them all on one album, it was cool. And like to see people like, oh, what is this? I'm just like, God, there's a lot of dudes just doing dope things already coming to one place to doing something. So hopefully the second one does come out. It sounds like Ruckus put out an update on it.
I don't know how much we can say.
Wait.
Again, I'm like, I don't know.
Shout
You
out
on
to
there,
Ruckus.
TZ?
Shout out to Ruckus.
Shout out to Ruckus, man. Shout out to Ruckus, man.
That's it. Shout out to Ruckus, big time, huge time.
Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him, brother. But thank you for that question, Reg, because it's been on my spirit, but I've never actually been asked it. So thank you for that and giving me that opportunity to say that. You know what I mean? That's been in my. I was like, I wonder how on the other side it looks. You know what I mean? Like I never really thought about it, because I just work. I just be working, but it's human nature. So on the other side, I was like, well, damn, I wonder. But good thing you asked that, brother. And for somebody like you who's an artist, I get it. So I understand. Thank you for that.
I've been called a generational hater. So like at first it has to be like, well, what the hell's going on? There has to be something with me. Is it me? But no, I just want to like see how it is from your side. And I'm just trolling you. I know you would never hoard anything, and you would never stop anybody else from shining. Wrestlers are just familiar. And if you hear your STP theme, or you hear the Jets theme, like naturally you're probably like, well, who's that guy? I want to get a theme from him too. So it's not just you're super dope at it. It's also like people are hearing it and wanting to have that for themselves.
Yeah, and also too though, like I know you understand the situation probably even with your guys' podcast, is that when you get to a certain level, there's nothing wrong with delegating, man. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? And you don't have to be on everything. You know what I mean? Like I have a podcast with my man Donovan in New Mexico. They interviewed me, and then I was like, you know what, man? I'm just gonna, if you guys are willing to listen, and I will and you help with TZ's table, if you become a sponsor, I will help mentor your guys' podcast, help you guys with guests, and give back, man. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like what I do musically as well. Like I said on Facebook, when I see stuff all the time, I just tag other people, because it's not gonna, the one thing that I want to further comment on that too, Red, is that it's not going to grow if you don't, you know what I mean? If you don't help other artists, you know what I mean, get opportunities, because there's only so much that you can necessarily do alone. You know what I mean? And it doesn't help the brand. It doesn't help you essentially, and it doesn't help what the overall cause is if you don't delegate. So, but I'm also happy for the future of where this is going. I'm happy for the future, the fact that, you know what I mean, it's now opening doors to other people, and not only that, but it's opening doors to just seeing where the industry is. You see Swerve doing this thing. You see a lot of wrestlers now. With me and Reg we've been here for a long time. Now you see wrestlers getting behind the mic, and you know what I mean. They're doing their thing. I just wish some of them mix and master their stuff better, but that's just the old man in me saying that. But shout out to shout out to those guys that are doing their thing musically, and you know what I mean. I'm glad things are growing on both sides, not just our side, but the wrestlers too.
Yeah, you got to perform Sammy's theme song. Which pay-per-view was that? That was Double or Nothing.
Oh yeah,
right? You still there?
That was grand. Yes, I'm here. Can you see me?
Yeah. I think it was just a little.
What was that last year? I can't believe I forgot. I forgot it. Damn.
I think it was Double or Nothing.
It was in New York. It was in Queens.
Grand Slam.
No. It wasn't Double or Nothing. Grand Slam. Thank you. Damn.
There you go.
Man. Yeah. I didn't take my fish on.
There you go.
It was Grand Slam. Grand Slam. You take my damn sea moss. I'm wilding right now. Grand Slam. Jericho versus Sammy. I got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great experience. I got to do it. Was dealing with some health issues, so I recently got to the hospital, and I got to do that. And I could say that happened. You know what I mean? And it feels really, really good to say that I did that. And it's a bucket list thing. It's a bucket list. It's a bucket list thing to say that that's accomplished. Especially with a young company like this that we're a part of. And it was phenomenal, man. It was absolutely phenomenal to be able to do that. And shout out to Will, man, because Will pulled me to the side. And Will was like, yo, man, I'm proud of you, bro. You know what I mean? You've always been a good dude, and now this is happening for you. And it was me, him, and Swerve standing by the entrance, and we were talking for like 15 minutes. And he was like, look, man, you're here, bro. You really put in a lot of work. And I'm just proud of damn Will, because I'm like, shit, Will the man right now. I said, Will, man, shit, throw me $20, Will, shit. Like, I'm just proud of damn Will, too. Like, seeing what Will can, like, Will, man, you throw me $20, bro. I know you got it, bro. Like, God damn. But outside of that, man, I'm glad to be able to do that, man. And like I said to other artists too, man, I look forward to seeing other people get that opportunity as well, because it's just going to grow. You know what I mean? It's going to grow. Many other people are going to get, that opportunity. And for me to be one of the ones to do it, that's absolutely phenomenal. And the more that grows, the more artists are going to get that chance to do that. You know what I mean? And I'm glad I was one of them, and I look forward to seeing who else gets it in the future as well.
Yeah, man. Of course, always super proud of our friend. Speaking of friend of the show, our mutual friend is AEW World Champion. What is it like to see where Swerve is like now in his career? Of course, like all of us are like, man, we knew he was going to get here, but just to see it happen, what's it like as his friend?
Man, me and my dog been on this journey since 2017, man. I met him in 2015. We started working together with the podcast in 2017. Literally my best friend, the godfather of my kids. And it was surreal, man, watching that, man, because I'm sitting ringside and I just remember everything. While the match is happening, I'm watching it. But the whole match is literally revisionist history of everything we've been through. Mm-hmm. It's just flashing. Stuff that I forgot we did. The road trips, the flights, the phone conversations where we both were going through stuff. You know what I mean? Just stuff with our kids, the conversations, the hard times when we both were going through stuff. Just flashing. So I'm watching the match reacting, but I'm like my head is just all over the place with emotions, because it's, they almost say like, I never been in this situation, but they say like when some people are about to transition, their whole life flashes before their eyes and they just see everything before God calls them home. And that's kind of how it felt, knowing that this title was about to change. But in my head is just everything we've gone through. And then when he won, and he wins, me, Rich Lotta, all of us are reacting. My grandma's there. We're all reacting. And then I go backstage, and then he's being applauded, and then me and him hugged for like 5 minutes. And I cried like a baby, man. That was one of the best moments of my life, because not only was it that, not only was it because it was history, but because it could not have happened to a better person. You don't find people in this industry, this entertainment industry, that does it the right way. Normally, you could bring up some dirt on them. They're not a good person. They might be very talented, but they're a trash person in the form of the entertainment world. They always say never meet your heroes, because you never know who they are as people. You know what I mean? And this man won. And it could not have happened to a dude that he didn't snake nobody. He didn't hurt nobody. He didn't undercut anybody. He worked hard. He played his position. And Tony was like, you know what? You're my guy now. And I could not be happier for him, man. And then when me and you, Phil, was in St. Louis and we was at his celebration after, I was sitting here like, yo, man, this could not have happened to a better person. This couldn't have happened to a better dude. Like, it could not have happened to a better man in spirit. And you know what I mean? I'm proud of him, bro. And I hope he holds this title for as long as he can. I hope he breaks all the status quos in the wrestling industry, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does next, man. I really am.
Yeah. Still very, very happy for him. Just watching it from afar and just like, he's really going to do it. Like, I keep telling people, like, that day and like walking up to the arena and just seeing people already doing like the Who's House chants, walking up the street, standing in line and hearing like the Who's chants all the way down the street. And like even getting in there before the show started and hearing the chants, like, man, I mean, we've talked about it on here before, but like some of the stuff online that you see, it's just like, man, when you go to the shows, it's completely different, man. It's totally different.
Yeah, it's a different feeling, man. It's different being there live. It's different watching it. It's different seeing it. It's different. And it's different when you know them. You know what I mean? When you know somebody and they doing this, it's a different feeling, man. It's a different attachment when you know somebody and you're like, damn, man. It's like, yo, this dude is really doing this. You know what I mean? It's a different feeling. It's a different attachment, you know, and you just want the best for your people. And it's different because it's us as Black men. The stuff that we have to deal with as Black men and the waking up every day, the pressures that we have as Black men, to see him overcome all that and knowing what we got to go through every day, to see him make it and overcome all that with the pressures that we face, please. It's man, I've been bragging. I've been in the talking my shit era, TZ, with my man winning that belt. I'm just letting it fly now, bro. Told you.
I mean, him and I still got beef over like names and stuff like that we're gonna deal with. But you know, Swerve, you're on your way, bro. No, it's legit. It's like TZ saying, it couldn't have happened to a better guy, and I think that he's leveled up even more since becoming world champion. You guys are still super into podcasting, though. Like, you've got some huge names, Osprey and Adam Copeland, to be specific. How has it been kind of from where Swerve was to where he is now as world champion podcast? How's it podcasting with the world champ, I guess, is the question.
You know, it's actually interesting, man, watching how we started. And, you know, in his apartment, we was on beanbags on Instagram Live, and we had no idea what we were doing. So we hired one of my best friends that's a cameraman, and we got him. Then we hired Mike, who ends up getting hired from AEW, fired for AEW, excuse me, that worked on our podcast. So he got a job from AEW. Then we have our guy X, who is our editor. And we've been traveling and doing this so long. So seeing where he started, when I first met him, he was in Lucha Underground right before he started Lucha. And to go from there to the top guy in the indies to WWE, the NXT Hit Row era to now AEW, and watching the growth of him and doing this podcast with him and just seeing the different transitions of him as a man. And then you got to also add the fact when he started making music too. That also adds a different element to your character and what you do, because that's part of the persona as well. So you add all that in there, and it's like, yo, this is a pretty cool podcasting with this dude, because you see the growth, but you see the growth of his personality. At first, you know what I mean? When you first start podcasting, you got to get the chemistry. I'm pretty sure when you two started and you guys and Will started, or however you guys started your podcasting journey, let's just use this show, for example. Pretty sure you guys had to get your chemistry. You had to figure out who was the A mic in certain situations. Are you better being in the chime in guy? Are you better being the carrier of the show? Or you better just, you know what I mean? Who's going to be the personality of the show? So now it's kind of funny, because when I interview guests now, I remember I had a conversation with John Connor, right? Shout out to John Connor, the artist. And he's like, Teasy, we need to show more personality in the show, man. Don't take this personal, but show some more personality on the show. And like get your Charles Barkley on, man. You know what I mean? Just do crazy stuff sometimes. And now on the show, like we just had Chris Van Vliet on, and I kind of read the guests on what they're saying, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna crack jokes this whole episode. I'm not even gonna get in my journalist bag. I'm just gonna, when Chris says something, I'm just gonna make a joke out of it this episode. And then with like the Grizzly Young Vets, I kind of got in more journalist mode, because I kind of read the personalities. That's what me and Swerve do very well. We kind of read where they're at, and then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna take the conversation over here. And then I'll let Swerve do the journalist thing, or I'll do the journalist thing, and then Swerve will make the jokes and all that. We just, it's fun, man. And now the fact that he's the champion, it's even better. Hopefully, we get our dream list of, I want Allen Iverson. That's who I want on the podcast. I want Allen Iverson. I want Ken Griffey Jr. I want Nas. I want Lil Wayne. I want Kendrick Lamar, even though he never does interviews. I want the world, bruh. And hopefully him having that belt helps us get the world now, bruh. So.
Yeah, man. Talk about, we're talking about like Ghostbusters just turning 40. I think Iverson is 49. I believe he turned 49 yesterday, which is like, Iverson is heading to be 50 in a minute. I'm just like,
man,
what?
We're old. He wasn't that much older than us now, thinking about it, in his prime too, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
No,
but no, that'd be fire, man. If y'all got Iverson, I would be hating, because Iverson's one of my favorite players, but that'd be dope.
He's like, hey, Will be like, hey, Teasy, yo, I'm video calling you, bro. Let me get a few questions in, bro. I'm video calling you, bro. Like, give me 2 questions I can clip for social media. You know what I mean? Hey, you know what I mean? Hey, I ain't mad at you, bro. Like, I just want, this pop culture, man. I want us to dabble in some of the world outside of wrestling, man. I want to get some of those folks in and bring them into our world, man. I want to get those folks, man. I want to get them integrated into what we do and bring them into our world, instead of it feeling like, oh, the wrestling world's going out now. I want to bring them into our culture and, have fun, man. Like, it was funny because when Swerve meet these people that he be posting, I'm like, hey, you get it for the podcast? Hey, you get it for the podcast, bro. Hey, I know you took a picture with Charlamagne, bro. You get it for the podcast, bro? Hey, you met Floyd Mayweather. Hey, you get it for the podcast? Like, hey, oh, you met so-and-so. You'll send me the picture. I'm like, yo, that's dope. You get it for the podcast, bro? You get it for the podcast? Like, that's he be like, I'm working on it, bro. I'm like, I got you, dog. I got you. But the first thing I'm thinking is like, man, he be taking these pictures. I'm like, ooh, we getting the podcast. Ooh, my hands start moving like Birdman. I'm like, ooh, hey. Oh man, this stuff.
He was rubbing your hands together when you saw that Jonathan Major picture. Like, no, we about to get Jonathan Major. He about to come up here with the Newsboys on.
Oh man, not the Newsies fit.
Y'all talk about John and Megan. The Megan, what's up?
Oh
Megan,
yeah.
No, that's the
Like,
guest we really want. We want
Megan,
Megan good.
Yeah, and Megan, I love you, John. Hey, man, salute to you, brother. And I hope you make I hope you make another great film. Nothing but love to you, big homie. Love the Creed movie. But Megan, what's up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nah, that's
Like,
the guess.
hey, let's, you know, I've been watching you since a kid.
Make sure to say since you were a kid and not just so we clear this up, you know.
Gotta be careful with these things.
Yeah,
now,
I'm
man.
saying.
Yes, I was a
You gotta
kid.
be careful.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Thank you for the corrections. I was a young man. I'm about to be 36. Since I was a young man 20 years ago. I just want to clarify that. Not trying to have no problems on Fightful in your guys' show. I stand corrected.
Yeah, gotta be careful. But I mean, y'all have had like some pop culture guests on there. Y'all have had like some big names on there. I did chuckle when the graphic went up. I was like, wait, Lisa Ann, how did y'all make this happen? Like,
Listen, man. All I'm gonna say, when he told me, now I'm clarifying what I'm saying here. I'm not gonna have no problems on the Grapsody show, Raps and Graps. I'm not gonna do that. But what I will say is, I knew who she was, and let's just say I was very familiar with her work, and it didn't take long for me to remember who she was, because when he told me, I was like, oh, like the same thing I said the flashbacks about his matches, the same flashbacks I had about her employment career when he told me. So, I was very, very, very happy to I was very happy to have her as a guest and to see her in person. Very lovely person in person. She gave me her book. She signed her book. Loved the book. And I very familiar with her work. And I'm pretty sure I'm not saying you guys do or not, but I'm pretty sure you guys know who she is. That's all I'll say.
yeah, man. That was a dope look. Another friend of the show, Emilio, is like cool with her. So, I saw that and I was like, that's dope. Like they, branching out and get other guests, other wrestlers.
I'm sure, Phil. I'm sure.
I thought it was a great look. I thought it was a great look for you guys.
Out.
I thought it was a great look for you guys, man.
Branching out kills
Phil's
me.
Phil's like, damn, man, I just saw. Phil was like, damn, I just saw such and such on not YouTube. I can't say what it is, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's like, oh, they got it. Oh, great.
Fire, man. Man, other guests, like you guys have had Who Kid, like you guys have had some other pop culture guests.
Yes, man. Who Kid was hilarious, man, and he is absolutely funny, man. He's a funny dude, man. Who Kid. Donnell Jones was a great interview. Music Soul Child was a great interview. Man, we've had so many dope guests, and to see how we can transition that from here to now is like really another person on my bucket list. Another group of people. If I can get like Method Man and like Raekwon from like the Wu-Tang Clan, or get like a couple of them together, some of the Wu members, that would be phenomenal. I would like to get in like the big sense of the word, like we can get a Travis Scott, we can get a Tyler the Creator, we can get like some of the OGs, a Snoop Dogg. I know Snoop, might not with his association with the other company, but still, if we can make it happen, we'll make it happen. But yeah, man, it would be, you know what I mean? It'd be awesome. So that'd be dope. You know what I mean? Getting some different lines of people and see how we can work, man. Who's somebody else that I really would like that is unique or hasn't come on the show that is very unique outside in pop culture?
I mean,
man.
I think the Ross one is a big one because Ross has done like the wrestling stuff and he's like an unofficial member of Vocal Embassy. So yeah. I think that's a big one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that'd be dope. I'd love like a Rick Rubin, like somebody like unique like that. You know what I mean? Like a unique music executive or somebody who's just different. I would have loved to get that bad boy press when Will and Martin was just doing 87 interviews. They was doing 97 interviews like in everywhere. Like 2 weeks. I would have, hey man, stop on by, bro. Like give us 30 minutes. Like Martin, tell me a little bit when you had the fake dog in the living room, and you know what I mean? Like or Will Smith, like when you was like doing Men in Black, like when you dropped the Men in Black song. But the side note, Reg, since we're talking music, the Men in Black song is one of the first raps I ever remembered, bro. Like Men in Black is one of the first raps I ever remember. I remember being 9 years old, and I remembered that song for me. I kind of forgot it, and now I'm kind of old. But back then, man, you couldn't tell me nothing about Men in Black, man. I thought that was the dopest record, by the way. So, for sure.
Nah, Will's a legend, bro. Listen.
I'm thinking my first rap song was a Will Smith song too.
Listen, I don't trust you if you were too cool to say you were in front of your TV doing the Men in Black dance. Like if you act like you were too cool for that, I don't trust you, dog. I'm sorry.
Man, I wish I wanted to have a black suit on so bad. But yeah, me and my cousins were all in front of the damn TV doing the let me see you just bounce it with me fucking thing all the time. Will Smith is so crazily important to the culture, the things that he did in history and still continuing to do. He's one of my bucket list interviews too.
Yeah, for sure. What did y'all think of
the dude? I mean, the history that he has, you know what I mean?
Lulu? Still there? Looked like you froze for a second.
Yo.
Yeah, you still there. It just froze for a second. What did y'all think of this? Of course, speaking of just being old at the moment, this Method Man and Red thing. Method saying he's not doing Summer Jam again.
Yeah,
and how like that crowd just didn't respond to him. And I mean, for context, he was out there for Mr. C's set, right? Because they did a tribute to Mr. C. Of course, legendary New York DJ. But I think him being out there and just like where hip hop is now, it's a young man's game. And so like him being on that stage and feeling like, nah, I don't belong here no more. It's just kind of crazy.
That's wild, bro. I was like, yo, what is going on with the industry? Like I sat back, I was like, who did put this card together? It was all over the place. You know, the card was, I understood that. I was like, so you're putting this person, Doja Cat with this person, and you know, it's I hate to say this in hip hop, but you know, right now, realistically, let's be realistic here when it comes to the form of hip hop. And I hate to say this, but it's just the truth, right? You can see an Aerosmith, they can still sell out in 10 minutes. And they can go up there by themselves. They don't even need an opener. Taylor Swift, she can just go out there for 2 hours by herself. A lot of us in hip hop needs to have many people on the card. And not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm saying that the star power that we've had, there might be. Let's go through the list real quick, guys. Maybe 7 artists that can do it by like that. Tour stadiums like that at this point. You get Drake, maybe Drake, Tyler, Jay-Z. Drake, Tyler, Jay-Z, Kendrick. It's probably under 10. You know what I mean? And
Kanye
nowadays,
can do it
you have like
still.
Rock the Bells. Yeah, Kanye can still do it. You know what I mean? Kanye can still do it. So when you put these cards together now, a lot of hip hop acts a lot of times have to be blended in together. So the Method Man and Redman kind of audience is more for the Rock the Bells, the cards with the Roots and Common and you know what I mean, Salt and Pepper, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? I think it's just an age demographic. I think you can, but you also the parents can also put you on to who these people are if they're really hip hop people. But for the basic audience, the Rockwilder came out in 1999, and I was 10 when the Rockwilder came out. And you know what I mean? Now I'm 36 with more kids than I can name. That I can say that it's like you got to be aware of the cards you're putting together, man, because they came to see Sexy Red and all these people, and then you're like, who are these guys? And it's at least Method Man understands that, you know what I mean? At least he understands that, and there's nothing wrong with separating it as far as you know what I mean, who people came to see. Right now, the people that I was listening to, how high in the Wilder, these people are our age and in our 30s or older with kids now. So that's the demographic that you gotta appeal to.
Yeah, it feels like that's the festival crowd more than anything.
Yep. That's what I was
Because
about to say.
the festival crowd is a younger crowd, and they're there for what they want to see. Because I've been to like big festivals and like big cards, and you'll have like a young set, but you'll also have somebody like De La on that same card. Like I've been to shows, and De La made fans out of younger listeners because of that.
Totally.
But it's just, I don't know. Like Summer Jam is a specific set, and like I get if you weren't there for the Mr. C tribute, like not really understanding it, but it was really weird to see. Again, it's one of those we're just getting old things, but I'm just like, bro, if Meth is not welcome at Summer Jam, like Meth is New York hip hop, like
exactly
what is happening?
I think exactly what you're describing is what they thought too. They were like, it's Red and Meth. They'll be able to get any crowd because we've seen it. I've been in crowds of Red and Meth, and like they have had people rocking, and like I'm sure they were like, it's Summer Jam, it's New York. These guys are legends. They'll be able to get this crowd rocking. But these crowds are different, man. They don't care about like the hip hop that's classic to us from 94, 95, 96. That's ancient. That's old people, old school stuff to the people in the crowd, you know what I mean? The headliners. And so like Teezy's describing here, that demographic now is parents, they're in different stage of life. They don't even want to go to that show. So like the people that are going to be there to support them, they're not there because they're like, I'm not about to go and be with all these kids, all these artists that I don't know in these different situations. How much is water going to cost? There's all these things that kind of go into it. And so it's like they were fighting a losing battle. And I'm also glad that Method Man was aware to be like, we know that's the funniest thing about us, because they are always put themselves in situations where they don't have to be like that. Like I've been to shows where the bill was them and Snoop and Cypress Hill. Like they know their demographics. They never put themselves in moments where they're going to be out of their element, and somehow they are out of their element now. It's crazy.
I mean, this is like New York. That's why I'm like, to have a Mr. C tribute needed to happen at Summer Jam because of what he meant to New York hip hop.
Exactly.
And then have it received that way was just kind of like, what's happening here?
The game.
Somebody killed me because they put the clip of them doing the two-step and they had like the black and white filter over it and like the Charlie Chaplin music. And I was like, come on, man.
Don't do us like that, man. Don't do us like that. Come on.
Come on, bro.
That's wrong, man. That's wrong. We're not that old, you guys. But no, sometimes I feel like that, like I'll be playing like the hip hop that I love, and it sounds like a baby bubba did the beat of the beat. And I'm like, no, this is Tribe Called Quest, though, man. Like it's not even like that. But like if somebody hears it that doesn't usually hear it, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Hey, Reg, We're about 2 years away from being on a wrestling record. Be like, my name is Teasy and I'm on the mic and body slam in the body. I'm about there, brother.
See, hip hop is so young in the game. We're only 50 years old. We don't even know how we're gonna transition into being these older guy rappers, because like you're saying, the older guy rappers we know now were doing that, and like I'm not about to be doing them old school raps. Like I want to be doing something dope, but I don't want to be doing what the young people do, because that makes me feel so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it, bro. I'd rather bow out gracefully before I do that.
You're not about to jump on the black and white filter.
I'd rather just be like, hey guys. I'd be like, hey, I had my run, man. I had my run, man. I'm sitting there watching a Reg. Let's say we have like the next wrestling star comes out of nowhere, wrestler rap guy pops up out of nowhere. He's just the man, right? In like 5 years from now, somebody just pops up. And like 5 years from now, we're having this conversation. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh, Reg and Teasy on the stage with such and such. Oh, get these old dudes out of here, man. Like, came to see these dudes rap about Austin Theory, bro. This is his time. Like, we don't need, like, let the young dude have it. It's like, here they go again. It's like, nah, man. Like, nah, I don't want to be the legacy act, bro. I'd rather walk away than be the legacy act guy, bro. I'd rather do like a Ray Lewis or Jerome Bettis and win the Super Bowl ring and like retire then. I want to retire winning, bro. Nah, I don't want to. Nope. Nah. I'll be seeing some of these cards, and no disrespect, but I see some of these cards and these young guys are having it, and then you know how during every performance there's like an intermission where they bring a special guest out. And you got the new young cat doing their thing, and then they bring out so and so who's been doing the same song for 42 years. It's like, yo, bro, like, put your hands up, dog. You've been doing this 26 years, bro. We know.
Now you hate on This Is Why I'm Hot.
This is exactly the song I was thinking about you. That's so funny. I was exactly thinking about Bibbs too. That's funny.
So we're on this podcast together. I don't know why This Is Why I'm Hot popped into my head. I'm like, why are you doing memes like that?
Nah, TZ about to jump into that reggae bag again and hit the This Is Why We
Bro, I swear to God, bro. Listen, you brought up something, bro. Everybody was like, hey, yo, what's something you wish as an artist you could take back? If I could take that back, I will take that. I will take that 8 bars back. I will take that back. Hey, bro, you will never see me perform that again. That is not happening. No.
Let me tell you how I died when I got that email, and like we did a song. Of course, famously, we did a song, and Jade was like, "Hey, we want to go in a different direction." So like TZ and I are talking about it. TZ sends me back to it. I'm like, when did Elephant Man get on the song? Like TZ come in, I'm like, wait, hold on, what's happening here? A lot is happening. And then I'm like, do I have to do a reggae thing too? Like, I don't know if that was like, I see what TZ's doing. Like, should I match his energy? And I was like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
I think I heard like the first version of the song too, and like it seemed like she was happy with it. Yeah. And then like Red Velvet got her record, and she was like, well, wait a minute, you getting the island vibe? Like I kind of want to do that too.
all love to the legend, but I think you guys understand what I'm saying here. You know how LL Cool J went through like the experimental stage in his music, where like he was like experimenting stuff because he was just wanted to do it, and some of the songs was like hit or miss. I felt that way about that verse. I wanted to try something very different, but in my spirit, listening back, if I could go back, I'd be like, nah, I'm just gonna flow. I'm just gonna flow my 8 bars and just lead that beat. You know what I mean? Shout out to Reg, because Reg took that song to the other level. Reg absolutely kicked my ass on that record. But I will say, man, never again.
Listen, man. If we don't get the experimental L phase, we wouldn't have gotten headsprung. And so, you know,
you're right. You're right. It's points are being made. They call me Big Ellie.
Yeah, they call
one of his
me
biggest
Big
records.
LA. Big
Yeah.
LA.
Mm-hmm. Somebody could call him Big Ellie,
Yeah,
though.
that song's fun. I like the record, man. The people who can't stand Headsprung, that shit was bopping to me when I was in high school, bro.
Nah,
I was a sophomore in high
Headsprung
school
was
when that
outside,
came out.
bro.
Head sprung. There was a phase with him when
people got revisionist history on that song, man. People got revisionist
we
history
were
on that
just
song.
talking
Man,
about
when that song was like out in 04.
head sprung. But we were just talking about Will Smith. And remember, he went through what was his hey?
Switch?
Yeah, they both went through that kind of
No,
like
Switch went
experimental-
crazy though. I'm not trying. Listen,
You was doing the Switch, Phil? Ooh, no. Not
Switch went
Phil
crazy, bro.
Phil was hitting the Switch. I'm dead.
Vibe a second. It's the club, girl. It's the club, girl. Why you arrive naked?
Come on, bro. Nah, Switch went crazy. Hey!
Yo, that was the yo. What'd he say? No, he was. I don't know what bag Will was in on that record, but I remember. Hey guys, hey everybody, don't take this personal. Back in the day, this is young Monteasy before I knew the business. Back when I was still burning CDs. This is, you know what I mean? This was and I didn't have the budget because I was very young. So pardon me, guys. Napster and everybody and Aries and Kazan on him. Don't sue me.
Mm-hmm.
But yep. I burned that song. I had Switch and I had Headsprung on the same CD. I had Feel Mob, all the same CD. It was all on the same CD. Man, that's what I was sick,
crazy
sick of being lonely. But I had Switch, I had Headsprung, I had On Fire by Lloyd Banks. I had that CD, man. I burned that CD up, man. I burned that CD.
Hey, I might need this playlist though. That's kind of hard.
That is a crazy playlist. Going from Switch to don't finish your statement.
Hey, Phil Mob was kind of hard though.
Nah, that record was hard as hell.
Yeah,
but on the same CD as Switch, those sounds crazy.
Hip hop has been through some crazy things.
I had that, man. 04, bro. I had that, man. That was I had Exhibit's which album was that? That was Weapons of Mass Destruction. I had some songs from there from Exhibit on there. That mixtape was all over the place, bro. If I thought it was fire, that had Hey Now with Kerry Hilson. Exhibit and Kerry Hilson, Hey Now. I'll never forget that CD, yo. I'll never forget that CD.
This CD is crazy.
CD, the CD's wild.
Yo.
If I find this CD, I'm going to tag y'all on Twitter. I got to find that CD.
Bruh. What a wild mixtape. I don't know. Do we have any super chats for TC while we got them?
Yeah, Van Twinblade says, Monteasy, St. Louis boy here. You got some ravs? You get some ravs when you were here.
Ravs? Pardon me, guys.
Yeah, I think he's talking about toasted ravioli.
Oh, I see what he's saying. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm old as hell, bro. You said I read it like an old man, bro. That's wild. Yo, I was like, it took like 3 seconds.
St. Louis staple.
What he said. I'm sorry, brother. Got you. My bad. Pardon me, brother. Great question, Twin Blade. Damn, I'm old. No, I did not. Me and Rich Lotta and a lot of us got some barbecue. We got some barbecue from one of the barbecue spots. And I'm watching my blood pressure. So I took one bite of them damn baked beans and damn, I feel like, oh God, this shit's spicy. You couldn't do that. But But outside of that, nah, man, I didn't get a chance to, brother. Hopefully next time I'm out there, I get a chance to check it out if I can have it. And nah, man. But thank you for the question, bro. I didn't get a chance to.
Didn't you not get barbecue, Phil?
Yeah, no, that's why I was looking around. I was like, man, see, missed out, man.
But you could just take a train back over there or something if you wanted to.
I guess next time I'm in St. Louis, but yeah, missed out, man. This podcast could just not escape baked beans, apparently.
TZ did say something about baked beans, right? Y'all leave me alone. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Also, too, I know you guys are in different locations, but you know what I mean. My album release party is on my birthday, the 23rd. I am looking forward to that, man. I'm having my album release party. I don't celebrate nothing, so it's very rare for me to actually throw a party because I don't celebrate nothing, which is unique of me. But I'm having my album release party on the 23rd, man. I've announced some special guests coming. A lot of people are pulling up, and you guys have an invite if you have to be in the area if you're around. But it's gonna be dope, man. I'm excited for that too. And one thing I also want to say too, man, is that I'm proud of you guys and what you guys are doing with this, man. Seeing where both of you guys started and seeing how you guys are continuing to do this as well. Let me pass the flowers on the other side and pass it to you guys. Like to see you guys sticking together, especially as black men in this. You didn't let egos or nothing get in the way of what you guys have and what you guys have built with this. And I'll be watching from the background, man. And I'll be watching. Phil, I got to give you your roses because a lot of your music opinions on Twitter, Phil, I agree with like 97% of them. The stuff that you tweet that I wish I could say sometimes when you be going in on like the hip hop stuff, I'd be like, yo, Phil is cooking right now, yo. He cooking. I can't, you know what I mean? Like a lot of stuff you say on Twitter, a lot of the music opinions, I'd be like, you know what, I can't. Especially when the Kendrick and Drake stuff was going on, I'm like, all right, Phil, all right, bro, I'll rock with you.
Yeah, listen, music opinions have to go somewhere, man. One day, somewhere in this world, there will be an article written by me about music, but they have to go somewhere in the meantime.
I'm waiting on that. I was actually looking into. We were talking about LL Cool J, but he has like the Rock the Bells empire at this point, the website and the XM thing. I was like, do you guys need writers? I'd love to write about some old school hip hop on Rock the Bells. That'd be sick, but they're never really looking for anything like that.
Yeah, but man, appreciate you, man. Appreciate the flowers. I think we got another super chat that I just saw popped up on my screen.
Oh, yeah. Delayed Grat says, Monteasy, you and Swerve are doing it big. Was partnering with Nana Swerve's idea or somebody else's? I actually know the answer to this. Put that back out there.
From my history, I think that was an idea that they both teamed up on. If I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure Swerve will correct me, or you know what I mean. If we go back into the history, I'll be corrected. But from my understanding, I believe that it was something that they agreed to do together. I think that Swerve having a manager, especially with someone that's as colorful as Nana and where Swerve's character was going, especially when he was a heel at the time, you kind of needed that person that can, kind of do the talking and be the, you know what I mean, the extension personality for where he was going. And then I think that once the song happened and the dance happened and it just organically just blended. And now you see Swerve doing a lot more of the talking and they're together. It's kind of like a Punk and Heyman thing where they both can talk now. You know what I mean? And it's just changed. You know what I mean? It's just changed. So I believe that was something that they thought of together and it built. And thank you for the compliment as well on us doing our thing. I definitely appreciate that. So, but it's also good to see a black champion and a black manager and seeing where they started when they first got together and seeing how it grew. Because we were all there seeing when it was like the mogul affiliates and seeing the very beginning of it and them trying to figure it out and, you know, the hits and misses, and it just happens with anything. Not everything, you know what I mean? Everything at the infancy of everything. Then when they got the Gates of Agony and then everything built to see when Nana came in and how everything just transformed to where it is now. And then the song took it to a whole nother level, which I always tell people, and we always say this, I know you guys have said this as well, that the song really damn matters. Guys try to act like it doesn't, but the song really matters. And you believe it in the person and their wrestling, and what they do as a wrestler. So yeah, that's it. I'm very, very proud of them, and I hope they stay together. Please keep these two together.
Yeah, they're the whole sect of fans that only know Swerve coming out to Big Pressure. They don't know of any of like the Lucha Underground stuff. They don't know like the Shaka Khan, none of that. They just know him coming out to Big Pressure.
Yeah.
That shows we're getting old, man. That shows we're getting old. They don't know Shaka Khan, Swerve. We're getting old, bro.
Yeah, nah, that's where we're at. Some people were not here for Shaka Khan, Swerve. I personally liked his very first theme he had when he came out on NXT, and then that one vanished into the ether, and he had another theme song like a few weeks later.
Bro, Wembley's gonna be crazy. I hope that they give Shaka Khan a
Wembley's
pay Shaka.
I pray to God. Tony. Open up the checkbook, bro.
Yeah.
Tony. Do this.
Listen, man. I know Swerve has said that, you know, we've moved past that, but you know.
Man, even if you do Big Pressure, essentially, give us like 20 seconds of just yo, son.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
20 seconds. Get something. Man.
Here, let me double check our HumperChats and make sure I didn't miss anything from there for you. Don't want to hold you. Nope, we don't have any HumperChats for you. We've got a ton of HumperChats, but we'll get into those in a few. But man, appreciate you, Teasy, for coming through. If people did not catch again, album is coming out next Wednesday. Keep an eye out for that.
Absolutely, man. June 12th. Make sure you guys go on all streaming platforms and get that. I am blessed. I am honored to give you guys great music, to give you guys a project that comes from the heart, from the spirit, and I'm glad to do something that is more personal, to give you guys, you know, more of my life. The deluxe version has 19 records. The standard version, like if you go on to YouTube and things like that on Bandcamp and stuff, it'll have the deluxe version. The streaming platform, Spotify, Apple will have the 16 songs. So once again, you got Twista, you got Music Soul, known as The Hustle on there. Rich Boy, Swerve the Realist, Rich Lotto on production, Anthony King, who I say is the MVP of this album, literally came through for me on like 3 cuts, and that dude is got talent on his left pinky. Shout out to him. And you know what I mean? Let's continue to build, man. I'm thankful for the time. Thank you guys for the promotion and teasystable.com. And you guys keep killing it, man. I'm proud of you guys, man. Keep killing it.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Teasy.
we are going to hit a word from our sponsors. Then we're going to hit some more topics. Hang with us.
Hang loose, brothers.
We've been telling you about the benefits of fitbod.me/ppv for quite a while now, but there's so much more. 150,000 5-star reviews, over 5 million downloads, 400 million workouts logged. A lot of people have tried out Fitbod, and now you can too. You can get 25% off at fitbod.me/ppv. All of your subscriptions give you full access to their premium features. You need to stop guessing and start working. They have daily workouts that generate your workout of the day based on your muscle freshness, preferred muscle group, and things that you want to target. There's equipment selection, so maybe one day you have bands, maybe one day you don't. Maybe you have weights one day, maybe the next you don't. Maybe all you have is the ability to do body weight exercises. They help you out by using the equipment that you have available. There's goal and experience settings. There's muscle recovery. You can connect to your Apple Health, your Fitbit, your Strava, all that good stuff at fitbod.me/ppv. Streak counters, timed intervals, circuits and supersets, and you can ask a trainer if the video demonstrations and exercise instructions are not good enough for you. fitbod.me/ppv. That's fitbod.me/ppv.
Appreciate Teasy coming through.
Teaser.
Hopefully people check that album coming out again next Wednesday. You've got a bunch of HumperChats to get into.
Let's get into them.
Let's see. See, we got something from Tony P. He says, assuming he's still talking about the Monica McNutt thing, but he says she gagged his ass so bad that he went to the purple bunker and tried to shit on her and made himself look bad, saying he made her famous, even to his fan base. So here's to McNutt, Petty of the Week winner, and for standing on business with Stephen A. Smith. He goes on. He's got some more. He says, Drake's superpowers, that really took them shits away.
Honestly.
Because what the fuck was that shit we heard this week? Even the plain tees were like, that can't be Drake. Hard times have come for Aubrey. Now on to wrestling. He says, WWE was forgettable this week for me, other than the Liv and JD stuff. The main event ending from SmackDown gave me Vince Kennedy McMahon booking flashbacks. Also have a feeling AJ is going to win. It seems like Meltzer was right that they have nothing for this man except bloodline stuff. I don't think AJ is winning. I think that this was a good way to keep this story going. But I don't think AJ is winning. I think it's interesting that he's gotten to get the title match at both of the international shows so far. I don't think AJ is winning, man.
Do you think this match needed a stipulation?
Well, since it's a rematch and the match at Backlash was so good, I think just to do something different, I don't mind the stipulation. And it plays into the retirement angle, so I'm fine with it.
That makes sense.
But yeah, we got that officially announced this week on SmackDown. It will be an I Quit match at Backlash. I believe they announced the women's tag titles match for Backlash as well. Piper Nivens will be taking on Bayley for her title as well. Piper had a great promo last night. I wish you guys would free yourself from the what chant and just stop doing it because it's super annoying. Just cut it out.
Makes me so angry. Yeah, we have to figure out what we're doing next week because we're being counter-programmed again by the World Wrestling Entertainment. But no, it seems like they're loading it up. And AJ and Cody, I think, are going to tear it up. They've announced some good matches for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is kind of like just their rubber match. I would mind this turning into a trilogy of matches, but I think this is probably the end of it. For now, but I do think Cody's going to retain.
Same.
But yeah, it does feel like he's kind of in this holding pattern until we are I don't know, till at least till Roman is back, because I've said before, I think his match at SummerSlam is probably going to be Roman, and they're clearly doing certain stuff with the bloodline that is eventually going to lead to them doing something with Cody, but I think that's a ways away.
And they're getting into what next month is Money in the Bank. That could it doesn't have to be the focus on Cody for that. So that's kind of another month that buys them until Roman comes back.
Yeah.
Is that a international PLE too?
What, Money in the Bank?
Mm-hmm.
It's in Toronto, I think, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right.
Yeah, I think it's Toronto. Which technically, because
technically,
Canada.
Yeah,
but
works.
Yeah, North America.
Yeah.
Let's see. Trying to make sure I did not skip over any. No, we got a handful more. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, I'm in the right place. We got a handful more from Tony P. He says, "Don't get me wrong, the match will be fun, but this reign has been anime filler vibes now. NXT was also weird this week. It was a go home show too. Still excited for Battleground, but this go home was miserable other than Grayson Page's appearances. I did not watch NXT this week. I'm not a regular viewer of NXT, but seems like it's been doing well. We got the reports of what the ratings were for the last two shows, and it seems like it's working out for them. It seems like more people are viewing. It seems like bringing in wrestlers from TNA and having Sexy Red has helped them.
Yeah, it's they've gotten a nice little bump the last couple of weeks, and the product feels fresher. Not that we want to watch it, but it does feel fresher. There's been a lot of talk this week, Phil, on this TNA and WWE collaboration and Jordan Grace and what it's going to do for TNA. Have the TNA ratings came out? Because that's going to be funny to see too. But where do you kind of stand on this discourse? Do you think that WWE is helping TNA so far?
I think it's raising the profile of somebody like Jordan Grace as an individual. I think online it's getting people more interested in certain wrestlers from TNA and certain matchups. But a big amount of that audience is not going to watch TNA. That's just the fact of the matter. And that was kind of the same problem with AEW. Like, they sent their champion over there to be a part of that main event scene, and they did get a bump in ratings, but it wasn't consistent and it wasn't sustainable because a lot of that audience isn't going to keep watching TNA. Right. And I know for some people they'll go, "What is it's the channel it's on? If it was on a better channel," and some other things, but for some people they're just not going to watch TNA, man.
This is WWE tribalists, and I'm not mad at us because again they've been set up for this, but like there's only one big guy in town, and like to them TNA is some bullshit, and it's like they'll accept the TNA wrestlers coming in and they'll accept all that, but they're not going to be over there because that's just not how it works. And a lot of them are going to use that we can't find it as the excuse, and it's fine. Like if it's not presented to them, they're not going to check it out. But yeah, like you're saying, for Jordan, for anybody else that kind of gets mixed into this, I think it's going to work out great for them. But TNA, it's looking crazy. And TNA, they've had some more troubles. I don't know. These news stories keep coming out, and they're like, the one this week was, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do like a permanent location thing. We're fine though. Don't worry about anything. Like we're cool." And then like all these people are kind of leaving, so it's like they're having this positive thing on NXT, but then on the other side, it looks like, well, what's going on with the company though?
Yeah, I keep expecting to wake up and see like the shoe dropped and like some big news drop, but
me too.
For now, TNA has still survived. It is very, scary hours for them in some ways, which is wild because, like I said, man, when you just look at Jordan being on WWE and what that's done, and like her coming out with the NXT on the back of her ring jacket, and like the TNA chants there, you would think that this is turning into a good thing for them. I just don't know what to make of some of the other news we're getting though.
Do you think that WWE is it worth for them to try to get their library at all?
I think it will eventually. I think you've got too many wrestlers that ended up working for you that will work out to have their library.
AJ's in the main event, you know.
Yeah, you've got certain AJ matches. You got certain like Kurt Angle stuff from there. You got Joe, Lashley, Ethan Page is over there. You can get some Ethan Page's run. I think it's advantageous for them, but man, would I not like to see them gobble up TNA.
It's dead. It's legit dead if they buy it, and that's just we don't really want that. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, yeah, but there's so many wrestlers that have wrestled there and also wrestled at TNA or Impact, and so I think it could be advantageous for them, but scary hours, man.
Unfortunate, and it's crazy because like they still got like Ali and ABC, and they still got some heavy hitters over there. So it's like it doesn't. It seems weird that they're having such a high, what seems like a high, but then on the other side, it's like, are you sure? Like they've lost some writers. It seems like backstage people are kind of confused. Nobody's really understanding, but they've always. This isn't new, I guess. Like this is always kind of in their MO of like they've had different owners, they've been on different networks. It's always like, well, tomorrow this could all be over. You know what I mean? And it sucks. But WWE buying them would not be good for the wrestling business.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think that either. But let's get into this NXT card before we move on, because it's only 6 matches. Very interesting card. Just looking at the names on this card, this is a wild card for NXT show. But NXT Battleground will take place tomorrow in Las Vegas. Pretty strong card, I'd have to say. I'm probably gonna watch it. I don't keep up with regular, but I at least try to watch the pay-per-views.
Same. I'm gonna check it out, especially in this UFC Battleground place that they're gonna be. And I just kind of want to see what it looks like, what it sounds like, and what it feels like.
Yeah, I that alone makes it an interesting watch, just to see like what is going to be the environment there. But we got the ladder match for the inaugural NXT Women's North American Championship. That'll be so
interesting.
Very interesting. Based on that segment we got this week, it's gonna be Sol Ruka taking on Lash Legend, taking on Fallon Henley, taking on Jada Parker, Michin, and Kaylani Jordan. Kind of feels like this is Jada Parker's match to win, because she's gotten a lot of the buzz coming out of this. She definitely got the better of the segment this week. So I'm going to assume this is Jada Parker's match to win.
Yeah, it felt like this week they set her up. Like she felt like the focal point of the ladder match. And she kind of excelled in that situation. Like you said, she got the better of that little exchange. She's been looking like, I'm ready to win this championship, and like if anything, that's worth a lot. And but I'm like, this ladder match, Sol Ruka's been kind of cooking. She might do something. She might be like the dark horse, like coming out of this match. But yeah, Jada Parker, do you think Lash Legend has a chance of winning this?
I think Lash has a good chance.
Because she's been involved in the trick stuff and kind of main events. You know what I mean?
Maybe. But you could definitely tell the people, like you're saying, that are there to do a big crazy spot. Like I think Sol is there because she's gonna get a big spot in there. Michin has been a part of like some crazy ladder spots, so I can expect her to do something wild here as well.
And this is the one Sexy Red's going to be presenting the belt for, right?
Yes, and completely forgot about that. Sexy Red will be hosting this show because that's initially why she was brought in,
right?
If I remember correctly. So she will be hosting this show in Vegas. Again, what a wild card! Like just some of the names on this card, and then Sexy Red is going to be hosting it.
Like what? Like if you describe that to me, like without me knowing wrestling, you're like, oh, it's a WWE show, but it's their developmental brand, and it's at the UFC thing, and this rapper Sexy Red is hosting. I'd be like, what are you saying?
Yeah, go figure.
That should be fun though.
Yeah, I think the triple threat for the North American title is going to be a strong match as well. Obafemi will be defending his belt against Joe Coffey and returning Wes Lee. I think this is going to be a hot match. Very much looking forward to this one.
Yeah, Wesley has a lot of momentum coming in. Like the fans are really behind him coming off that injury. It's always unfortunate when a wrestler goes to an injury, but like sometimes you get magic in a bottle moments like this where fans are happy. And I think this could be Wesley's time. Obafemi is such a like force that like people are constantly hitting me up and being like, Oba, have you seen Oba? Have you they like he's one of the brightest stars they have over there. So I'm looking forward to this match. I feel like Obu might retain though.
Yeah,
What you think?
me
I
too.
don't know.
The only way I don't see Oba retaining is that they're kind of ready to move him up to the main title.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think it's a little soon. I think you can give him some more time with that belt. I understand the pressure to maybe put the belt back on Wesley, but Wesley's another one that I wouldn't be mad at him moving up to the main title
He
picture.
could be in the main title picture too. Yeah, it would make a lot of sense to kind of maybe transition West before I would transition Oba. 'Cause I would let Oba kind of cook. He's still like
Yeah.
he has it, but he's still pretty green, you know?
Yeah. So I got Oba retaining here, but I am very excited for that match.
That match's gonna be dope.
We got Shayna Baszler taking on Lola Vice in a NXT Underground match. I think all of the build for this match has been great. I think the
has.
segments they've done and the vignettes have
really
been really
has.
cool. Like the vignettes for the vignettes that they've been doing for Shayna alone have been really cool. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't see it.
There's a really cool one where they have like this montage of Shayna like getting people in the careful to clutch, and then there's like a meter next to him showing like the oxygen meter going down and like
Oh, shit.
all these like almost like Mortal Kombat graphics of her doing the strikes, and it looks really cool, man. It's so easy to book Shayna. I don't know why they act like it's hard to do on the main roster.
Well, this really confused me, Phil, because they're back to booking her good in the next. I'm like, wait, what are you? Well, what's going on? Why doesn't it transition to over there?
I don't get it. But I think this whole thing has made Shayna look good.
It has.
Lola also has like the MMA background as well, so I think this is a good position for both of them. I'm not sure
that concept of Raw Underground would transition to NXT and they would be making it work over there.
Yeah, I think this is a good feud for Lola, though. I think this is a good way to get people more interested in her. I feel like Lola's got to win this, right?
I would think so. It would make sense.
Yeah.
But you know how they be doing over there.
You never know. But I think this is a great use of Shayna. Again,
It is.
use this woman better on the main roster. I just don't get it.
Do this right here, but over there. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
She's badass. That's it. Have her beat people's ass. It's not really that difficult.
Yeah. Again, to just how wild this card is. Nathan Frazier and Axiom will be defending the NXT tag titles against Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Yeah. Again, wild card. I think this can be a strong.
Good brothers. Yeah, the Good Brothers are there. Wow.
Yeah, I think this can be a strong match. Big fan of Nathan Frazier and Axiom. They do all the flippy stuff that I know you like. So
Yes,
I think this is gonna be a fun match.
When's the last time you watched a full Good Brothers tag match?
It's been a minute.
That's what I said. Same here. I'm like, I don't know what stage that they're at, the like cruise control stage. Like, I don't know nothing about them. But Axiom and Nathan Frazier have been cooking recently, so I'm sure they'll get something out of this. It's just like, damn. I'm thinking the Good Brother stuff has got me thinking about the Andrade talk that's been happening in the last day, and I'm like, and the Shinsuke talk from this week too, and I'm just like, maybe these guys are just chilling. Maybe we don't, like, when we're angry, like we want more from. Maybe they don't want more for themselves. Like, they're just like, I'm just gonna kick it.
Gallows and Anderson get all the kudos in the world from me. What a finesse!
I'm saying
they get to show up whenever they have something for them to do, and then otherwise they chilling. Look, man. Kudos
like
to
not
them.
waiting by their phone to get for work to call them, and like if work calls them, they're like, yeah, we'll come in, I guess. Yeah, we'll go to NXT, whatever. We're chilling. I'm with my wife. I'm over here. I'm surfing. You know what I mean?
Man,
like
going to NXT and going and challenging for the tag titles, and you're in the midst of being next to AJ in a main title feud. Seems like it's working out for them, man.
kicking it. You think they're gonna win the belt here?
I don't. I think Frazier and Axiom are going to retain.
Same.
I'm very interested in how long they're going to keep Nathan down there. He's one of those guys I would like to see move up eventually.
He's ready.
Um,
He's been
but
ready for a while, honestly.
but you got more stuff you could do with Frazier down there.
And I think they need to just continue building the division, the tag division. So it would make sense to leave them down there. Gallows and Anderson is just,
Yeah,
they seem the most out of place of the, we're sending main roster stars back to NXT. But then also, like we described, it's just funny that they're just like, we don't care.
yeah, it's funny. They're on this card with Jordan
Right,
Grace.
with some people that have been in that have had 5 matches, and then like, oh, these guys have been in the Tokyo Dome also.
Exactly, just such a wild collection of wrestlers on this card,
And Sexy Red too.
right? Speaking of Jordan Grace will be challenging Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship. I think this match is going to be very good. If nothing else, Roxanne is a really good wrestler. Jordan, every time we see her come to WWE, she's on her game. She was spectacular in the Royal Rumble match. And, I expect her to be just as good here.
Yeah, kind of that chip on her shoulder. All eyes are going to be on me. Anytime she's in that situation, she knocks it out of the park. Roxanne is incredible. I think that kind of knowing that you're going to be watched by more people you've ever been watched for in your life adds a little bit extra, and that's what Jordan Grace is going to be here. Yeah. This has potential to be the match of the night. There's a lot on the backs of both of these women just kind of to prove something, and they're going to excel either way. But like, if they give these women time, let them establish things, let them cook, like this could be that one.
Do you think there's any possibility that Jordan Grace wins this match and becomes the new NXT Women's Championship?
I think there's a possibility, Phil. That's the craziest thing. Like all week I've been thinking about it, like all this kind of TNA crossover talk. I'm like, they could do that. Like it wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world to have that. The only thing is like the way that Impact does, like, or TNA does tapings, like when would they even show it? Like they already got like months. Like it's so weird. But I think there is a world where Jordan Grace could win the NXT Women's Championship, which is crazy.
Yeah, I don't
think she is though, but I think there's a world where she could.
I think Jordan is gonna have a good match here. I have been saying it for a few weeks now that she's gonna end up there eventually. In some form or fashion, she's gonna end up with WWE, but I don't think she's gonna win this match. She's probably got more appearances coming up, but I don't think that she will win this match.
She's not gonna be Roxanne tomorrow. Definitely not.
No. I'm assuming for the main event, Ethan Page will be challenging Trick Williams for the NXT title. This is interesting because Trick is still very much over, but I feel like some of the air has been sucked out of the room since Melo moved up to the main roster. It feels like he's missing like that one big rival without Melo. And I don't know, man. I would not be mad at them strapping up Ethan Page here.
I think this is kind of the same exact situation as we're describing with Jordan, but Jordan, like Ethan isn't tied to anything, but like I could see a world where Ethan Page leaves this thing as the champion. Like you're saying, Trick doesn't, Melo leaving left a big hole because like that was his whole being was like being attached to Melo or feuding with Melo. And so now he's just kind of stuck in this limbo of like, I'm the champion, but also like, I don't have Dragunov's is gone. I have nothing to move forward with. Ethan Page just came in. With a lot of kind of fanfare, like unexpected type, like we know this guy and he's over. And if he won the championship, it would make a lot of noise and it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Because I'm immediately wondering if Ethan loses here, who do they have next up for Trick?
I can't even think of someone.
Yeah.
Because everybody that was in a contender to the championship is in main roster, like Braun, Melo, Dragunov, like all those people are gone, and they haven't established anyone else that's like on the cups ready to go. They got some people like we were talking about, like Wesley and Obafemi that could, but they still could also cook in the North America Championship division. So I don't know.
Yeah, I do think Trick's gonna retain, but
Same.
I kind of would like to see Ethan win.
Mhm.
But then again, I'm an Ethan Page fan, so
Me too. And I like Trick too, but I'm just like, maybe that's our issue, is like, where does Trick go from here? And they're like, we got somewhere to go from here. But I don't know if he could carry this. Is that the
Yeah.
right thing to say? You know?
maybe they're gonna keep this going, and Trick gets a rematch against Ethan Page somewhere down the line. Maybe Ethan loses here because they got a Toronto show coming up soon.
They do.
don't
That's
they?
right. Mm-hmm.
And maybe they do that. Ethan wins it in Toronto.
And that makes more sense.
And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that's probably the way to go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I
But-
do think they should do one of these styles of new guy comes in, but he's somebody and he wins the championship, you know? Like Ethan Page would be kind of the right guy to do it with.
Yeah, because I mean, Roxanne will be fine. You've got other contenders to build up for her.
Yeah.
And you're bringing Julia in. It feels like Julia's eventually going to be NXT Women's Champion. So I think
Felt
you
like
got
that
more.
probably was going to be the match here.
Yeah, me too. So you got some room to do other things, but maybe they keep this feud with Ethan going after this. Maybe that's the direction.
Yeah, the women's ladder match shows me like all the over there, like, oh yeah, they have a bunch of contenders if they need, like way different than the men's division.
Yeah. That is our
But
card.
Trick, yeah.
6 matches, easy breezy. If you thought you escaped this weekend without a pay-per-view, no. There's always wrestling on. You can catch NXT Battleground tomorrow. Sure, we have a ton more HumperChats.
Not counter programming us.
This what catch for me. I'm currently staring at a black screen and I'm waiting for it to refresh, guys. That's why I've been just like, okay. Come on, give me the HumperChats. Come on, man. Come on. You can do it. I know you can.
It's a slow process.
Okay, we got some from Tony P. Speaking of excited, he said the Owen Forbidden Door and all up nice with your face and subtle stories being told. Danielson's drive to win before being part-time. May and Tony's story playing out with the Owen and Mina being the catalyst. Yeah, I'm very much excited for Forbidden Door based on the build. I'm almost tempted to say that this is the best Forbidden Door build we've ever had, at least for the women. Like, we've never seen them actually take the time to build a women's match in this way, and they've been building this match since April.
Yeah, I think that as far as the women, this is far and away like the best build that they have. Like matches that people actually want. They're giving them stories. They're giving them time. They're giving them mic time. Like this feels like what Forbidden Door is. Now, Denise and I talked about it on the post show of it feels a little bit different because guys like Ospreay and Okada are already signed. So it's like we don't have that surprise element of like who's going to show up, because like who would be like a super surprise if they just showed up randomly on Wednesday on Dynamite? There's not like an Okada or Ospreay that represent that anymore.
Yeah, I'm still wondering who is Moxley's opponent going to be. I'm sure that's like the big thing, especially coming out of Dominion. Yeah, I'm not certain on that one. I think a big one for Bullet Club Gold would be the War Dogs.
Gabe Kidd.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that we're both like, yeah, get Gabe Kidd on TV, and
that's all I really want.
Like Finlay, like
yeah, right.
Come on, man, get us Clark Connors and Gabe, and get us the War Dogs, man.
Yeah, if just Finlay shows up, I'm gonna be upset. I'm like, where's everybody else at, big dog? But yeah, I think even beyond that, I think just the build and them kind of putting more emphasis, and it feels a little bit more sided. Like this is team AEW, this is team blah blah blah. So I'm looking forward to this, and I think that both of the women matches are gonna be insane. Maybe it'll be the matches of the night.
Yeah, I have to assume that they're intentionally having Okada be very quiet during all this Forbidden Door build. He has not said anything about New Japan. He does not seem to care about anybody over there. I believe we're going to get a Continental Championship match on this card. I think somebody's going to come over and challenge him.
Who do you think?
I think it's going to be
New
Suji.
Japan, right? This CG, because they've been building that for a while. They were kind of subtly building it before Okada left.
Yeah, so I think that's probably going to be the Forbidden Door match. Probably Suji versus Okada for the Continental Championship.
And what about Bryan?
Yeah, that's another one. Maybe we're going to get like a multi-men match with Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah, I want that one-on-one, but I would understand.
Yeah, I don't know if we're getting an Owen Hart Cup match at Forbidden Door. That's because we got one last year.
That's right. Huh.
Maybe somebody from Japan will be an Owen Hart Cup. And maybe that'll be Bryan's match.
Sense. Yeah, that actually does make a lot of sense. His name should be Shingo.
Yeah, because, last year that was Punk's match at Forbidden Door.
That's right.
So maybe this year, because Bryan's the first guy that announced himself for the Owen, that's where we'll get somebody from Japan.
That actually makes a lot of sense, because this week I was kind of thinking things were getting a little bit like, why are they promoting both of these things so hard at the same time when the Owen is after it? Like, you would think they would just put all their focus in, but for some reason they've been like putting the Owen in our brain. So like that actually kind of adds up.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, maybe it'll be somebody from Japan. Maybe it'll be somebody from CMLL that will face him. And both of those sound great.
Yeah, anybody, honestly. But that match they had this week from Dynamite, I'm like, I mean, if they had one of those with some New Japan heavy hitters, that shit might go. So I don't know.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I thought the multi-men match was very good this week. Was very excited to see Big Utes is back.
Yes,
Yuta picked up the W as well for Team Blackpool Combat Club. And I saw immediately some people were like, "Oh, that belt's back," and started rubbing their hands together.
Is it?
No, I saw Lee Moriarty saying, "Oh, Yuta's back, and he's got his belt back with him." Listen, if you want to give us that match at the ROH pay-per-view coming up, would not be mad at it.
Forgot that's coming up too. Is that June or July? No, that's July.
I think it's July.
Texas? No, I'm good. I'm staying at home, you guys. I'm not doing any more wrestling vacations for a while.
You're not going to Texas? Come on.
I'm chilling. I don't think I'm gonna go back to Texas for a while unless like absolutely needed.
See more from Tony P. He says Swerve's possibly about to go to war with the Elite, which possibly brings back Hangman. Max calling out Swerve, Will and Kazu, Willow, Chris Statlander, Mercedes drive to have women's wrestling dominate, the Callis family breakup, the TNT ladder match, just so much. Yeah, what did you think of this Max segment we got this week? That mixed feelings on it. It's good to have him back on the show. Some of the shtick was kind of not for me. It was funny. While I was watching it, I was like, this feels like Eminem dropping a record. Like, I was sitting there immediately thinking, Max is back. Back again. Max is back. Tell a friend.
I hate that you made that correlation because it hits really hard. This is what I was expecting from him. Not the content, but I was expecting him to kind of come and, make his declaration on who he's going to face. But like the promo that he did at the pay-per-view, he was like, all that shit I've been doing, I'm not going to do. And then he like just came back and did all the shit he's been doing. So it's like, I don't really know. You know what I mean? Like it was 100% an MJF promo that we've heard and seen before. And I just thought he was going to be more into the heel, I want to be the fucking best shit, which he kind of is, but it's still like low-hanging fruit dad jokes.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of similarities between Eminem getting back into Slim Shady bag.
Mhm.
I thought the promo was fine, but like there were certain bits of it that I'm like, do we really need this? I think Roosh coming out and his responses to Roosh didn't really hit for me. The feud itself, I think is going to be great. I think the match is going
Yes.
to be good. But yeah, there are bits of the
I don't want it
segments
to
that I
be
was like,
like the Takeshita thing. Like Max and him had a
yeah,
fucking insane match, but all we could think about is Max being dumb and all the promos leading up to it. And I don't want it to be that again.
yeah, there are bits of the segment that weren't for me, but I think the match itself is going to be good. I thought the pull apart and everything was great.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Again, the stupid ass what chant got Roosh. Like
yeah,
Roosh, he didn't need what. Why are y'all doing this? It's just so stupid.
yeah. I get annoyed specifically when people try to do the what channel foreign wrestlers. Just
Hmm.
please stop doing it.
Like this isn't making it better. But yeah, Max is back. He didn't go 20 minutes. I was on the timer the whole time. Like, how long is this guy gonna
No,
go?
you had to save some time for Jericho.
I can't listen.
We got how many Jericho segments this week between Rampage and this? We got like
They're
4.
all great. I loved every one of them. Just a bunch of heat. Like all of them are really good. Especially like the beat Brian Key stuff, amazing.
Brian Keefe has been the highlight of this learning tree stuff. When
I
it
like the
start
learning tree.
when it started and Jericho hopped out of the truck, and I was just like, "This is where we're going for this episode, huh?" And then it just kept going throughout the
Kept
night. I was
going.
like, "Okay,
I thought it was pretty good, Phil. I don't know. Phil.
It does in some ways feel like somebody back there watches this podcast and like knows the wrestlers we like, and they're like, "Hey, get Brian Keefe in there." And I'm just like, "No, leave us alone." And then now you're trying to drag Private Party into it. I'm just like, "Stop it, leave me alone, man. Leave me alone."
Why y'all doing this to it? No, it is like it does feel like this is personal, but like I'm enjoying it. I think it's great.
I will forego on saying more that I think about this.
You loved
But
it. You thought it was great.
it was too much Jericho, man. Between Dynamite and Rampage, it was way too much Jericho. Uh, see more from Tony P. Says, "Hell, we may get even a Blackheart Leo versus Dante match with the thing Leo's been hinting on Twitter. This kind of feels like AEW Mania season. Also, TK been happy chatty." He has been very chatty on Twitter, which may mean something big is possibly about to happen in Iowa. I don't know what or who it is, but something is happening. Also, can we say props to Swerve for breaking Bully? That man was bothered badly. Also, Reg, this will bother you, but sadly, with a few tweaks, I'm starting to think the learning tree can work.
Me too, dude. You don't have to convince me. I think it's a
Listen.
great concept. I think with a few
Yeah.
tweaks and if a few little adjustments, that this could be really good stuff.
Y'all are capping, bro. Stop. Y'all are absolutely capping, man.
I think it's a great idea. I love Chris Jericho. Big Bill.
Yeah, man. Appreciate your humper chats, Tony. I'm a big fan of Big Bill as well and Brian, but these segments they are not it, buddy.
All my friends, leave me alone in my text messages, okay? Leave me alone.
We got some more from HumperChat regular Nelson Muntz. He says, first Diddy and now the Dream is also in hot water. Yikes! I did see that.
Man, Phil, this sucks, dude.
He says it's now almost inevitable that bad stuff is about the Carters comes out and will have people in denial because they have worshipped them and praised them for decades. Seeing as you guys have some real life experience, any of you were ever busy eating mashed potatoes and thought, "Damn, this is making me think of that Grippy."
What happened? That's
He's
like
talking
a
about the
transition.
cold Grippy verse.
Oh,
The cold Grippy verse is so, yeah. Come on, Cole. Just drop some more music that you got from this album coming up. Very much looking forward to the fall off, but that verse was not for me.
Just like you said, Phil, might delete later is hard. Like, we know you got it, dude.
is.
What the hell are you doing? Why do you keep dropping this bullshit? I don't understand it. Yeah, the dream thing, like, it sucks because all the stories are exactly the same. It's like the guy tells the woman he's gonna take her to blah blah blah, and then he treats her like shit. And I'm like, I'm just tired of these guys being awful. It sucks.
Yeah, we got the Kanye thing that came out this week as well.
Oh my god. I forgot I erased that from my brain.
Yeah,
Jesus.
apparently his lawyer is coming back and saying that this woman was trying to extort him or blackmail him, and she's done this to other artists. The whole thing just looked really messy and gross.
That's
I guess like she was
crazy.
trying to say that it was actually the opposite, and she was harassing him and sending him unsolicited nudes or something.
What?
It's crazy. It's crazy. The lawyer threw like out a joke about the woman at the end. I was like, this looks wild. I don't know what to make of any of that.
It's he was on some Louis C.K. shit, like masturbating on the floor. Like, I don't
know.
These men are disgusting. Every time a new story comes out about, I'm like, what are you guys doing, dude? Stop it.
Yeah, no, but that dream thing sounds really gross.
Fucking hate it.
Especially
Especially when it's like not that, when they're like, oh, it was in 2016. I'm like, dude, that was not that long ago. You know?
Yeah. Yikes. From John Paul Romero, he says, Grapsody meetup at BJ's hosted by Reginald. Seriously though, can we get a live audience episode of Grapsody in Vegas for WrestleMania 41 weekend? Yeah, we might have to at least do a meet and greet or something.
I think Vegas is this is probably like the best chance we have, honestly. Just with like geographically and Vegas and how everything works. I think that's probably like the best case scenario, honestly. We probably could do that. We're gonna try it.
Yeah, go figure it out.
Yeah.
Got another HumperChat from Tyrone Kidd. Good afternoon, Phil and the Bad Apple, Righteous Reg. Great week, to be honest. Shout out to the NXT pay-per-view. I'm Team Lash tonight. So what movie do you think Brian Keefe used as his Ice Cube muse? 21 Jump Street or Fist Fight? Does Mina's theme sound like the Fast Five ending?
I don't know if I know what the Fast Five ending is.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
Wait, is the show today or tomorrow? The NXT show?
It's Sunday.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I know they've been doing Saturday pay-per-views, and Dana White did the whole thing about WWE is going to be on. No, he said they're going to be on Sundays now. That's right.
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Saturday. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know this Fast Five reference you're making, but it does seem like Brian Keefe is channeling his inner Ice Cube every time he's on screen.
I think Fist Fight, though, if I were to think about it.
Yeah,
because he does kind of have that Ice Cube Fist Fight energy.
He's doing the whole Ice Cube scowl and everything. But no, he has been a highlight of this so far for me. He's been really, really funny.
My favorite Ice Cube scowl is, what'd he say?
What'd he say?
What'd he say?
Hey, come back.
I always think like these guys were gonna die, Phil, over $200. Like Smokey was like, he was riding through the hood trying to kill these guys over $200, dude.
Bro, that's still one of my favorite quotes from Friday of Big Worm. Man, that's $100. Smokey, stop playing with me. Every time I think about it, I die. Stop playing with me.
That's $100, Smokey. Stop playing with me. Smokey puts it around 10, 100.
Well, bro, flipped it over and started trying to count it again.
Quit playing with me.
Like all the way to the point when I see something that I'm like, nah, bro, stop playing, bro. That is $100, dog. Stop.
$200. He tried to kill them for $200. Oh, hey, look who it is.
What if I just showed up unannounced? What if I just showed up unannounced?
Yeah,
I thought you were dead.
Let's
Oh,
fix
I
this
was,
up.
but I'm alive now. I'm alive. And I was like, I could ask, but I could just be like, y'all was talking about Ice Cube, so I felt my inner Ice Cube. So I just wanted to pull up with the Devo. What up, y'all? How y'all doing? I was on the floor watching your guys' interview. It was cute. Y'all great. Hi.
We're doing great, Big Cresta. We expected you to be here front and center early at the beginning, but you died. Now, this is actually perfect that you're here because I want to talk about the show that you're going to tonight. That shit looks insane. It's a Puerto Rican weekend out there?
Bro, I'm about to do some Steiner math, right? So I went to bed at 11 because I was pooped. Woke up at 5, hit up Grapsody at 8 and said, I'm going to be on Grapsody. Y'all said it was at 12. 9 o'clock, I went to sleep. I said, okay, whatever. I'm going to still show up at Grapsody. Puerto Rican weekend starts at 5. Collision starts at 8. My post show's at 10. So if I carry the one and leave before the main event, or I take a cab home, I could be home and I could fake the funk of like, these matches were great. Rick, you talk.
I don't know. Them times ain't adding up, Cresta. You said 5 and 8 and 10 and 12 and streets and subways in New York. Like, are you sure?
Rick's gonna be on this episode?
Rick is us, all 3 of us tonight, Phil.
Oh, it's all 3 of you guys?
Wow,
Great.
the gang's all here. The gang is all here. That's rare. It's rare. That's all Phil Sanchez. Rare.
Nah, I'm not giving you shit. I could probably do it. I just can't stay for the main event, which is I think is gonna be Mike Santana versus
Very Puerto Rican.
Also, I got no one to go with, so I don't go to
can't
wrestling
stay
shows by
for
myself.
Amazing Red, Cresta.
Oh. Righteous Reg. I saw Amazing Red wrestle for the first time the last time I went to HOG.
You did.
Keep him. He is him. When I did a
guy.
podcast with Queen of the Ring, she was like, who do you think is underrated? I'm like, before they got signed back in the day, Bret Hart. Now Amazing Red. He's so fucking good. Like,
They don't know. They don't know. I'm gonna get that interview. He don't be doing them, but I'm gonna get him. But yeah, this card looks insane. Mike Santana and Red's on there. Anybody that's Puerto Rican, the Colognes are back. Primo and Epico, they're gonna be on the
original
card.
ones, because Mike Santana made sure to be very clear it's not the apple eating ones.
The original ones.
Yo.
Yeah, but this show looks fire. I'm excited for you.
I mean, again, I don't know if I'm, because literally I'm gonna be here. I'm a honky tonk for what? You guys are on for an hour or two, and then I got a boogie deep in Queens. She's trying to do her hair. It's too hot for makeup. Y'all gonna get raw ass face. Raw.
I see. So you're saying you might not make it, is what you're saying.
Wagwan?
Wagwan.
When I said I was doing Steiner math, I'm doing Steiner math. I should have been had my makeup on. I should have been dressed. And I was like, you know what? I'll run in Grapsody, running with the chair spot. Call me Bernie Sanders.
Yo, so I just see the chat, and a few weeks ago when this kerfuffle was happening on Twitter because of a certain person that Reg referenced, I thought of a clip from 40-Year-Old Virgin, and then I saw the clip last night, and I could not stop laughing.
What happened? What clip?
What did Reg do now? Reg is pissing off everybody.
The clip of Kevin Hart arguing with my man in Smart Tech, which is one of the funniest parts of the entire movie.
When he's arguing with Romney.
Yeah, and so when you were having your kerfuffle with a certain other short guy from New York, I immediately thought of this because I just jumped in like, yeah, that's your boy. Yeah, we both amass you. we both part of the same Smart Tech gang.
Yeah, straight up.
You're an idiot. Why when you said that all I could think of is using a lot of big words, and I don't know what that means. Something
I'm gonna take it as an excuse. Watch your mouth and help me with the sale.
Well, yeah. See, you didn't know, Cresta. I can't. They said I can't show up in New York anymore. So
who said that?
It's hot up in it's hot out in New York for us, I guess.
They said
I'll be there in a few weeks, but
okay. Come out here.
I'm just gonna ask one question. I'm gonna ask maybe 2 questions. The person who said you can't come out here, were they this color or darker?
No.
All right.
It was somebody that can't see over their dashboard, so we're not paying attention to them.
Somebody that does this. Put them up.
Hey, put them up. Listen, you good in my hood. I'm from the Bronx. Let that person tell something. Yeah, you can come in my hood.
We're not worried about the Fighting Illini logo. We're not worried about the Notre Dame logo.
Yeah,
Man, get
come
out
on,
here.
bro. Like, yeah, all right.
Dang,
There's a
well.
lot of reasons to not go to New York, and it's definitely not for this fucking clown. Shout out to Jericho. Phil's gonna be there very soon. I'm very jealous that I'm not gonna be there. Are you gonna be at Forbidden Door, Krista?
I mean, if they approve my badges,
Oh my
yes.
God.
I mean, it's right there. I mean, it's annoying because if I could either rent a hotel and stay out in Long Island, but who the fuck wants to do that? Or I have to drive back an hour. So
What's wrong with Long Island?
you're not from here. There's a lot of things wrong with Long Island.
Fair, I don't know.
Long Island. Long Island and Staten
Ah.
Island, one of the same. They should both. Jersey can take them. Put it like that.
Long
Jersey
Island is
Jersey
really
can take 'em.
funny.
Long
Long Island.
Bro, you've never been on 34th Street late at night when the drunk people gotta go back to Long Island because it's a bunch of it's your brother Tony from Long Island and they're drunk as shit after a Rangers game causing mad trouble on 34th Street. Just to be drunk as fuck on the LIRR to go to some place called Yap Hank. Get out of here, bro.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, Hank.
I think we're caught up on HumperChat. We are officially caught up on HumperChat. If you want to send us your HumperChats, humperchats.com/fightful.
Our homie Van Twinblade said, Phil, make him watch DCAU. I don't know what that is.
DC Animated Universe. Yeah, people on your neck because you did not watch Batman Beyond and now this. Like, come on, man.
You know, I did
Wait,
see a commercial for the
Batman Beyond as a kid. Wait. Also, how old are you? So let me not.
I'm not a kid. I'm old.
Okay, same, but like Batman Beyond, Bruce was wilding. He was an old fucking man.
No, okay about that.
Okay, work.
I did see a commercial for the Superman show, and I was like, that looks kind of cool. The animated one. It's on Max.
Yeah, it's on Max.
Yeah, I might watch.
It's good.
Yeah. Van Twinblade said pork steak, ribs, or the brisket. Oh, that was probably for Teasy because you didn't have barbecue.
Yeah, didn't have barbecue. Sorry.
I don't eat pork, so there's that.
Oh, you one of those, huh? Swine,
nah,
my brother.
Nah. Listen, my brother.
Swine, my brother.
You eating that swine, my brother?
I was
Cresta's outside giving up bean pies. Or something.
Oh my God!
Gotta get you a bean pie, my brother.
Black people who don't eat pork are not all Muslims. Now I was raised 7-day Adventist, so if I eat pork now, my butt starts playing and it's not worth it. I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
Start doing one of them old school raps that TZ was talking about.
No, not your butt beatboxing. This is crazy. No, that's one of those meats that like forever black people in general are always like, don't eat that shit. And I'm always like, I know,
but it tastes good though.
It tastes so good. That's what I'm saying, dog.
I don't judge. I just
pork
don't have
ribs are insane. Oh my God.
But beef ribs, they mad big. You see what they did to Fred Flintstone car? Just the brother, you can't do that. You can't do that with a pork.
The big fall over. You can't put the big beef rib on the side of your car and then tip it over.
You could. You see these bowls? You can't do that with no pig.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. T-Rav THC says Fightful should have someone cover battle rap. LOL. Loaded Lux versus Rum Nitty. Smack card today. Kind of a big deal. Other battles in there too. Yeah, that's starting not that long after Grapsody is over, and I want to watch that. Loaded Lux and Rum Nitty is a huge battle. I know Jeremy watches battle rap. If I watch more, I definitely would cover it.
Jeremy and Reg for battle rap coverage.
It's just so much. It already like. Wrestling consumes my life. I don't have time for anything else.
Can you imagine having to cover the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef?
We essentially did.
We did, and it was a lot.
We did.
It was a lot.
Yeah. Kendrick wouldn't let people sleep for a whole week.
Not at all. I would be taking a nap and I would wake up to a Phil text being like, "This fool put out another one." I'm like, "Oh, I guess let me wake my ass up for reals." Because I-86 says he could have been doing this on ROH, man.
You talking about Ethan, I guess?
Ethan Page, yeah, you are right. Yeah, agreed.
I'm gonna be real with you. Ethan wasn't being utilized at all. No matter where.
I think they dropped the ball with him.
Yeah.
Over there.
And if somebody was saying that, well, Ethan Page is in NXT, do you think, nope, don't even fix your mouth because Josh is the world champion. That's been done knock it off. No.
Yeah,
No,
that's
that got
funny
moves.
because I thought he could go back to TNA for a while, but then they started having all that wild shit. And I was like, he's probably not going to go back there.
Who, Ethan?
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't think he was.
With Demore being gone too, I don't see.
I was gonna say just because I like the North so much, but when I interviewed Josh Alexander, he's like, we're not gonna do that again. Essentially,
the North was good, but I think kind of like the bar, it was what it was at the time.
That's exactly what he said. Yeah, it was just like, we did that. We're good here. I don't want to. That's like the same thing as like I was asking Chris Hero about teaming up with Claudio, because people famously are like, why don't you team with Claudio again? And Chris Hero was like, I bet you Claudio hates that every time someone talks to me, they bring that up. He's like, because he's been in so many tag teams since then. I'm like, but we like that one though. I get it. I like that one. Shout out to Chris Hero. That's the homie. Broadway Joe says, Brian Shingo, Battle of the Dragons is all I want. Same here.
Yeah, definitely want that match. Hopefully Shingo's got a big singles card coming up for Forbidden Door.
I mean, he could be
the
the Mox
only
match.
theme that I want to hear for that match is "You are the last dragon. You possess the power of." I know Tony got pockets for it.
I bet you neither one of them has seen that movie. I bet you Shingo and Brian have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know. Brian is
I'm like,
invited to
Brian,
Brian's invited to the cookout. He may not eat a beef or a pork rib or nothing, Jesus, but I think Brian might know what the last dragon is.
I feel like Brian could have been like in the room with some other wrestlers
Yeah.
watching it or something. Like he didn't watch it himself, but he like stumbled into a space.
There was a tier list going on, and Bryanson was on the if I trust you to do my edges with the tutorial.
Oh, that list was wild. That was
That
fun
list was funny. That list was funny. Like he coming with his own gel, and if he coming with his own gel, what makes you think he ain't see Bruce Leroy? Knock it off.
I don't know. That's definitely a question. Hey man, send him to do an interview over here. Maybe we'll ask him.
We can ask him.
You know,
Just saying. Bryan Danielson.
What kind of pull y'all think I have? I'm not Sean. What?
We're just talking in general. Will Chisholm says, when I saw WWE pay Jordan Grace 6 figures for the 3 shows, and Rossi saying Triple H told him to leave Stardom, I'm like, there's going to be some nasty work happening. Yo, the Rossi thing being confirmed after them being like, no, this isn't what happened. And then him being like, oh, actually, this is exactly what happened.
Yeah, Tony putting that GIF up this week of, hey guys, not that bad of a guy after all. I feel like he could have been talking about more than one thing, because I'm like, y'all did jump all over this guy's neck, and I think he was right about that Rossi thing.
Yeah, I feel like he was right. Rossi was like, yeah, no, Triple H said I could quit pretty much and do what I want. What it sounded like to me is like they formed this partnership where Triple H was going to get talent from Stardom, and the other Stardom people were like, we weren't into this. What are you talking about? And Triple H was like, just start your own promotion and start over, and we'll just do it like that. And now we're here. What is it, Marigold? That's where we're at.
Marty Gold. But yeah, Rossi was outside in Philly. I seen the energy then. It just,
Now all that swag, all that WrestleMania swag he had on, I knew exactly what time it was.
It's always such a curious case when people talk about Triple H, because I definitely remember Golden Shovel Triple H, and people are like, no, he's changed. I'm like, I don't know. There are shades. This man, I don't know.
When the same thing, they're like, yeah, he's changed. I'm like, has he? Like underneath there's still some of that stuff in there, I think.
Bro, I will always come back to Damage Control, because that was your idea. You did that, and then they did a whole bunch of nothing for a very long time. I'm like, Triple, I thought you were God.
He brought it back around.
He brought it back around.
By then, who cared? Did you?
I mean, they got 2 big WrestleMania matches. They got some stuff out of Damage Control. They were the heels at Survivor Series. What, 2 years in a row?
Do we know? I know that they've been showing. Asuka's been talking about it online. Do we know her diagnosis? Like, what's wrong with her?
It's a knee injury, correct?
Oh shit!
Because she did show her knee in the brace, so I think it's a knee injury.
Damn.
I was gonna say she was suffering from realness, but I didn't know she was.
Now injuries are kind of bad right now. They're always bad, but careful out there, you guys.
Yeah, get well soon to the Empress of Tomorrow. One of the greatest to ever do it. Hopefully she will be back soon.
Best Davis. T-Rav THC says also has Hoochie Cheryl versus Ever face Zack Sabre Jr. because I need that. They actually just announced for Arena Mexico. I think it's July 21st. Echiceto versus Zack Sabre Jr. 1-on-1. It's happening.
That's gonna
or
be
June,
that's gonna be
June
fire.
or July. One of those. Yeah, they just announced it. It's happening. It's gonna be super fire. Tyrone Kidd said end of Fast and Furious was when they opened the vault and Don Omar played.
I don't think I've seen a Fast and Furious since like the
We're
first one, bro.
We're all sitting here as crickets. I'm sorry, Tyrone. I don't
Hey,
know.
no, I watched I hadn't seen one since like 3, but I watched 10 or the latest one, and I was like, I watch wrestling, and this still is the most ridiculous thing I've ever
That's
seen.
crazy. I seen Tokyo. I remember Biker Boys. No, that's not part of that. Never
Biker
mind.
Boys.
With Tyrese.
Nah, man, gotta love it. Gotta like it. Hit these street cycles.
Burn rubber, not your soul.
You guys are weird.
Classic
and then
movie.
our last-
Man, we were talking about Megan Good earlier. Bro, classic movie.
Our last super chat for right now, Leonard Aarons III says the biggest life lesson that Friday should have taught folks: don't play with anyone's money. Messing with my money's like messing with my emotions. Excited for Sicko Saturday later on that Cresta might or might not cover as a show later tonight.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I
Leonard.
mean, I'm gonna be there for Collision. I'll be there for Collision. I'm paying to go to House of Glory. I'm getting paid to be on Collision. So
See? Look at that.
if it don't make dollars and it don't make sense.
Look at that.
Yeah, we getting some slappers tonight. We getting Ospreay taking on Daniel Garcia. We're getting Toni Storm defending her championship against Lady Frost. That video package they put out for Toni versus Lady Frost, fucking hilarious, man.
Mm-hmm. Toni Storm's incredible.
Toni Storm needs to be stopped, bro. Like, bro, this is such good shit, pal.
Yeah, really.
Wait,
funny.
you said Ospreay and
Dan Garcia, right?
Garcia? They announced that?
That's tonight, isn't it?
Is it? I
Yeah.
hadn't seen that. Huh. I'm looking it up. That's crazy.
I just show up. I don't never know
Am
what
I
the
wrong?
card is. I just show up and I'm sports entertained or sports confused or sports disgusted. So
Okay, BCC versus FTR. That's gonna bang. Orange and Kyle. That's gonna be fire too.
Kyle
Yep.
Fletcher.
Ospreay and Phoenix is on next Wednesday.
Is Ospreay wrestling tonight?
I don't think so.
Maybe I'm wrong. I
Yeah.
thought that match was happening. Maybe that's
Or did
happening.
they announce it? Somebody in the chat tell us. I don't know.
Is it happening Wednesday and not Saturday?
Wednesday match is the Phoenix match because remember Phoenix won the at Dynamite.
I was gonna say anything like an Ospreay match, not for nothing, is either gonna be a main event on Collision or a main event on Dynamite.
How has it because you talk about Collision every week, Cresta? How have you been feeling about the recent? Because it's taken it's had a few different personalities over the time. It's had the Punk era, the kind of Bryan Danielson era, and we're in the Sicko era at this point. How do you feel like it is at this point right now?
I'm not mad. There are certain things that I do feel unfulfilled about. I was excited to see what was going to happen with the real championship versus the BBB or the BBL championship, whatever it is. So it's like, I was excited. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're doing this. This is where the best wrestle. You guys are really trying to push that. Listen, I love wrestling. I'm not upset. Nothing is offensive to me. I think it's time for a brand split. There's a million titles, but there's not enough people to get titles. You know what I mean? I get why you put Mercedes with the TBS championship because you can't take it off of Toni. But realistically, she should be a world champion. And there's nothing wrong with a SmackDown world champion and a Raw world champion. So you could have a Collision and a Dynamite, and you could do your worlds collide on your own thing. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. Overall, I think Collision is great. I never have a complaint with Collision. My only complaint, Chris Jericho. That's my only complaint. And sometimes it's like it's just too much of Chris Jericho. It's just too much. I do like how they have Matt Menard now on the commentary team for good.
Why are you guys such Chris Jericho haters? I think he's an incredibly talented wrestler. Like all of his segments are never too long.
I'm not necessarily a hater. I think I'm a hater in the sense of the internet. If it's fun to dunk on you on the internet, I'm shooting my 3. Fuck out of here. But like, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like I would rather give the time to Top Flight.
Yeah, no, I don't think any wrestler in the world should be getting 4 segments. Let's like be realistic.
Yeah. And if you're going to get 4 segments, have it be a through line for something that
for something.
Yeah,
This was nothing but him coming on and doing a stupid voice and everything.
Right.
And I just was not.
I can understand MJF doing 4 segments through the night. Even Cody, even Brody Lee doing it 4 segments because it was leading to something. And at the end of the night, it culminated with Brody Lee beating the crap out of Cody, or Cody setting on fire, or MJF doing a stupid song and dance to kick someone in the dick. It made sense. Now, just like Chris Jericho's like, I know you guys don't like me on the internet. Guess what? I'm gonna be here in your face until you like me. It's like, hey, I'm taking from the cheap seat, so go, Godspeed.
He had more segments than any other champions. Like that's a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't see why, and I don't see why. It's nothing against Jericho, but your Owen Hart champions, Ricky Starks and Willow Nightingale didn't even get that much time.
The Ricky Starks discourse this week has been.
I'm already upset about Ricky Starks and Willow Nightingale. What are we doing this Owen Hart Cup tournament for? They didn't get nothing for it. Now this year, you're getting a championship. So if I'm Willow or Ricky Starks, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I have questions. I'm upset.
Ricky got his best feud of the year out of that last year. He got the Punk match, then he got the Bryan match at All Out. Yep, that was his best feud of the year.
I still
the rest of it though
saying, bro, every time I get close to the pinnacle when it's about to be Ricky's turn, something happens and then it's not Ricky's turn. So yeah, he had great feuds, but when is it going to be Ricky's turn? I'm tired of seeing Ricky getting shot in the alley because that's how I feel. Ricky, run, Ricky.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ricky.
Run, Ricky.
I think that
I just saw that chat. I wish we would stop capping because y'all don't like Punk, bro. Stop it, dog. Like, cut it out. Now the Punk feud was lukewarm. That was easily Ricky's best feud with the company. The Bryan match after that all out. That was his best match with the company. Like, cut it out. Like, let's stop these lies.
Guys, listen. It's okay to critique CM Punk, but to say that he's not good or that, listen, I think CM Punk getting fired, released from AEW was sports entertainment and comedy. And then seeing the video, that was comedy. But I'm not going to discredit the man. I'm just annoyed that I didn't get what I wanted. But it was a good feud. But I still, out of all of that feud, every one of them, I still remember Ricky saying, yo, every time I get to the top, somebody get fired, somebody get into a fight, somebody get let go, and then Ricky gets shot. I'm tired of this shit. So I'm team Ricky Starks. But to say that the feuds were bad, knock it off.
I mean, thinking back, Ricky hasn't. I'm like, because there's been a lot of Ricky discourse this week, and I'm like, ever since that Edge thing, he hasn't recovered. Ever since that Edge thing happened, it's just been weird. Like I'm like now connecting the dots. I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. That's why nothing has happened since then. I don't know if there's connections. I don't know if Adam was like, fuck this nigga, like keep him off the show or what happened, but it's been weird since their little. And I watched that exchange again. I was like, oh yeah, they was really getting into it. Adam Cole was really mad. I'm like, it's just wrestling though, dude.
Yeah. Yikes.
I still think Ricky he can come back from this. I still think the way that people talk about him, he still has the fanfare. And like I said, always say he's such a great talker. He could talk himself right back into a position. But right now it just looks interesting and weird.
Yeah, the Ricky discourse is interesting from all sides because you have the very pro WWE crowd that's just like, do better with Ricky. He would do better over here. And there's a little bit of cap to that. And then you also have currently some very pro AEW people that are like, nothing Ricky has ever done is true. And it's just like, both sides are kind of capping a little bit. Like, hey, we don't have to do this.
We got to meet in the middle somewhere for sure. He's not like the greatest. I don't think he's going to go over to WNBA world champion but like he can definitely like change the trajectory of some things.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I should clarify what I mean because people are like, "Oh, that Punk feud wasn't good." I think in terms of what that did for him at that time, winning the Owen and having something going on Collision, that was the best thing he had going since probably the Max feud. And I would argue that it did more for him than the Max feud. Because he actually won the Owen. He didn't win the ring. He actually won the Owen and he went forward and he had a big match with Bryan at the pay-per-view. It actually did something for him. Now, the follow-up to it wasn't good, but that's a different conversation.
Another story for another day if we try to get into the follow-ups on him or a bunch of people. It's hard.
I can go ahead and say that Ricky Starks, I think you hit the point on the head. He is such a good talker that no matter how we feel now, all it's going to take is for him to get one good promo in and say, listen, I've been down and out before. Whatever. I personally think Ricky Starks is a young Rock in the making. Like, he's got that power. He's got it. He's same way I feel about Willow. Willow is your baby face.
You can't just say anybody's Dwayne, bro. You can't.
Well, I said it.
You can't just say anybody.
Nah,
Rock is a generational guy. You can't just say that anybody is young Rock.
I said he's got shades of it. I can see it. He's got the talk. He's got the look. He's got
the look.
And same thing with like Willow. Willow is like a baby face through and through. That could be the face of your company if you really wanted it to, but you gotta push them. You know what I mean? I think Ricky can be the face of Collision. He should have been the face of Collision. Like, you got FTR, you got Ricky Stars, and now BCC, but BCC is everywhere. These guys, what we do House of Black? You know what I mean? I think Ricky Starks would be a great person to put in the forefront, but that's, again, relying on you guys giving him something. Same thing with Willow.
I don't think he was ever going to be the face of Collision, to be honest with you. Because initially it was Punk's show. It was nobody on that show was gonna eclipse Punk on that show, and then it became kind of Bryan's de facto show, and he was never gonna eclipse Bryan. I don't think he was ever gonna be the face of that show.
They were gonna give him the chance to. He wasn't. He can't. Meet Norma says stuff, y'all. Ricky Starks would be a great IC champion.
Both those hoes have left, and IC, knock it off. Sorry, knock it off.
I think he would be a great TNT champion. I think there's plenty of stuff they can do with him. But I think even that quote this week from Tony Khan, we've just reached that part in the discourse where people are being very disingenuous or acting like they're slow to understand things. Because his quote was, I would love to book him and do more with him. And people are like, you're the booker, you can do that. If you read in between the lines of what he's saying, yes, I would love to do those things, but there are things that I can't tell you guys that have happened that stopped me from doing this. That isn't a hard quote to understand.
Read between the lines, because every dumb person was like, you're the booker, just book him. And it's like, all right, you guys.
There are things that I can't tell you is basically the takeaway I got from that quote.
I can barely read, and you want me to read subtext? I'm a wrestling fan. Please.
Yeah.
Discourse. That's why I don't be on the internet. That's why I don't be knowing about nothing.
Yeah. Speaking of Discourse, we have free agency Discourse, which has been running wild for the past 2 weeks. As of now, Chad Gable does not have a contract. He is officially a free agent. His contract was up Friday. I don't know what that means. I don't know if he is in negotiation. I don't know if he's resigned.
Is he booked for a match next week already?
Not that I know of.
Sammy match? No, he's not, huh?
Not that I know of. But, reportedly, his contract is up. We got, of course, also the Natalya stuff. Her contract is supposed to be up sometime this month. Apparently, negotiations are still ongoing, but we don't know where Natalya will end up. She could end up leaving, and that led to, of course, people going, "Do we really want her in AEW?" Yes, I think she could be great. I mean,
would be amazing in AEW. Her versus Deeb, her versus Deanna. I would even take her in TNA. I think that Natalya is underutilized in WWE, but also got here late to the Natalya party.
Yeah, I think coming up with the Owen coming up, Natty in the Owen makes a lot of sense.
Natty making crazy.
Natty making it all the way to the finals and because the finals are in Calgary, are they not?
They are.
That's what I'm saying. Natty competing for in the finals in Calgary makes a lot of sense. I don't know
her
if
and Martha's relationship. I'm like, Martha presenting it, but there might be, Martha got some things with them Hart family members.
Yeah, that I do know, but I don't know if Natty's one of them. I do know she's got heat. She got a lot of heat for a lot of people, especially if your name ends with McMahon. But I don't know if Neidhart is one of the people she got.
She falls under that. Again, I have the same question that I had last week, Phil. What is this? Why did they? Is it just a mistake of the guy that was previously there being off of his game? Or is it this conspiracy of WWE's trying to they're gonna sign everybody, but they're gonna look like they're going somewhere else? Is it leverage? Like, why does this keep happening?
I think there's something to the idea that a lot of these contracts are the big contracts that they were signing to people to around 2019, like when AEW popped up. And these were people that they were trying to lock in so they didn't end up over there. And now you're kind of seeing like those contracts end now. I don't know. I don't know what this means. I have to figure that a lot of these people will stay put.
I think so.
But it is interesting. Ricochet is another one. His contract's coming up soon. I don't know. I don't know what this means.
Ricochet would be bombing AEW, but I think Ricochet would get lost in the shuffle in AEW.
I think Ricochet could be good. There's the big matches we want, like the Ospreay rematch. Of course, you want to see like the passing torch moment, like him versus Dante or something. But after you get those matches, then what?
Then what?
That's the question. And I mean, I think I personally would rather see them keep developing somebody like Dante, or like keep building up somebody else that can do very similar things than Ricochet does, than just going, all right, let's just get Ricochet.
Let's get Ricochet, because they already got a couple of Ricochet lights or young Ricochet, or we were inspired by Ricochets and you don't really need it. Becky Lynch is still out there. There's no...
This is true.
She told the WWE that she's going to take a break, but like everybody in the world is offering Becky Lynch money. Like there's no way Becky Lynch is sitting at home with no offers on her table.
Gonna take a break too, and then 3 weeks later, Honest Day.
Yeah, that's
Mox said. Mox said the same thing too. I'm chill. I'm about to go be on the beach. Definitely not at another different wrestling show.
Yeah, Mox told them he was going to take some time off of wrestling, and then all of a sudden he was popping up on New Japan and all these other places.
Becky.
So we never know. But yeah, there's a little bit coming from the AEW side. Penta's contract is coming up as well. So there's been some talk of could Penta end up in WWE. I don't know if I have as much interest in seeing that, but
I don't want to see them lose to the New Day and the Usos over and over and over and over again.
The Lucha Brothers.
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that.
You're gonna see Penta and Andrade wrestling for the 3-minute Twitter championship.
Yo, Reg, sometimes I feel disrespected when I come in here.
Come on, dog. Stop. Stop it, man.
Andrade got his new championship. He's having a great time. They could put Penta right in there too.
Is he having a great time?
Looks like it. I don't know.
This is why they don't like you on Twitter, Reg. This is why they don't like you on Twitter.
They hate me.
I don't know.
He's with his wife. She's speaking Spanish. It's lit.
I mean, he up. Charlotte Flair really out here Duolingo and everything. Talking about, hola, mi compadre.
Calling them Poppy and shit. Like, all right, Ashley, you probably should relax.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
Stand by your man.
Oh, I'm dead. So funny. Will Chisholm says, I do hate how every person is cool with Cody. They think he will get them a job with WWE like Ricky Starks.
Didn't work for a specific person. He's still over there. Oh.
No comment.
So not all the friends are invited. Sometimes it's like that.
Like, hey, do you got any more of those referrals? They think
Nah,
they think Cody
bro.
got referrals. Like, do you get like a bonus if you get me in over there?
Some people need to understand just because your friend worked there don't mean you could work there.
Exactly.
You vouch for me, bro, you suck. As your friend, I can't tell you that. But they're gonna see
But
it and be like, yo,
honestly,
you suck.
like, look, for me, if that was my, like, if Phil went, I'd be like, yo, get me in there. Like, you're the world champ. Like, if Phil became the WWE champion, I'd be like, yo, we're good. That's my homeboy. He's gonna get me in.
Get me in, bro. Philly
What's
Phil.
we got a lot more questions if 183-pound mid-30s Phil Lindsey ends up WWE champion. There's a lot more questions going on in the world.
Wilder things, Phil. You know, you might have it in you. You might have that dog in you.
But yeah, I think Arn's contract is coming up soon too. I don't know. Cody has talked about having a manager. Maybe Arn is going to pull up over there. I don't know.
The contracts running out on AEW doesn't. It seems pretty normal. The WWE stuff seems weird just because it's such like Becky Lynch and Chad Gable who are involved in big things. But again, it's still just WWE. It might just be like you're saying they signed all those contracts a couple years ago. They're just coming up. It just happens that they're all at the same block, you know?
Yeah, I think it's a timing thing because, you know, you got those contracts from that time period coming up. You got the media rights deal coming up as well. I think it's just interesting timing. I think is that all of our super chats?
Yep.
We've got one last topic because Bryan is once again playing with our emotions. Bryan officially declared himself for the Owen Hart Cup tournament this week. He's saying that, you know, he took some time away and he was very much inspired by Big Yuta coming back, and he wants one last shot. He is going to try and win the Owen Hart Cup tournament, and he's going to try and earn another shot at the AEW World Championship at Wembley. Initially, this guy has done this to us more than one time in AEW. So I want to tentatively get excited for it because, you know, I keep getting this feeling that he does not want to be champion. I think Bryan, the person, doesn't think he needs to be champion. Bryan, the character, is a different thing. But just on the surface, the story that they've told with Bryan from day one of him coming in and being all cocky, cursing in the press comes like we've never seen him before, and being like, no, I'm not over here to help any young folks out. I'm over here to kick all these guys' heads in. I'm gonna beat all these guys. I'm the best in the world. Give me Kenny Omega. Give me everybody you got. I'm gonna beat all of them. And over the years, he's gotten progressively humbled every time. Every big match he gets humbled. He got the Omega match, went to a time limit. Got the Hangman match. He thought he was just going to go straight through this young up-and-coming Hangman. Get time limit draw. Went to the second match. Lost to him. Called Okada out. Broke his arm in the Okada match, but still won it. But then, even though he won that match, showed his age. And then got the second match and lost. You know it's bad when he even had to give it up to Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston has beat him twice at this point. Lost to Zack Sabre Jr. And I think the oldest we've seen him at this point is the Ospreay match. Watching that match and how big he was talking going into that match, and then the match started, and it's like, oh no, Will is younger, faster. And stronger than this guy. And it's just like, bro, maybe this is it. This feels like the end of his time as a full-time wrestler for real, especially after the match, how they played the finish. I was just like, maybe this is it. But here he is again, tempting us with the idea of him getting a big WrestleMania 30-esque moment. And I want it. I want to see him at the end of Wembley holding that belt over his head. He deserves it, man. I want to see him get it. But do I believe that he's going to do it? I don't know.
I believe he'll do it. You know, I think that AEW, if they let Sting retire with the belt,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Great point. Yeah.
And Danielson, I never believed when he said, "I'm here to kick people's heads." I'm like, "No, you're here to put over the younger guys. Stop it, knock it off."
For reals.
You thought that's exactly what he did, and I liked how you went in there. And I think that it would be a proper send off. Okay, have him win the Owen Hart Cup tournament, because you're right. He got humbled every fucking time. He was like, "I'm gonna beat your head in." And Eddie Kingston don't know wrestling's fake, and Eddie Kingston beat you up, bro. All intents and purposes, like, not to say Eddie Kingston's trash. That's one of my favorite wrestlers. There'll be no Eddie Kingston slander here. But Eddie Kingston's not a wrestler. He go in there, he's ready to fight. Like, it's up with him. So, like, you have to give it up to him, and you're quote unquote the best wrestler in the world. I think he wins. I think that he retires with it, and we have another tournament. And I think for him and for Sting, that is okay. I don't want this to be a habit, but I think for him and Sting, that is perfectly fine. Because he has put over all those people. Every time I say, I'm going to talk shit, I'm going to talk shit. And that's all he does, and then gets beat. And the other person on the other end, with the exception of Ospreay, who's already good, looks better for it.
Yeah.
Bryan is he's such a tricker. You know what I mean? Like, I believe 100% that he could win the championship and go, but everything inside of me is like, he's just playing with us. Like, he wants us to get us to that exact moment and then psych you guys, because he'll feel more better about losing on the way out. But I just think with what he's represented for AEW coming in behind the scenes, Bryan Danielson and AEW, we need at least one something of him winning the championship. And like you're saying, Phil, the visual of him in Wembley with the belt would be fucking crazy.
I mean, just what all of this means to him as well. Because of course the story is he was this close to being a part of the initial All In, because his contract was up the day of All In. He could have appeared on that card, but of course he re-signed with WWE in 2018, and then he had his final run with them. But there's a parallel universe where Bryan could have been a day one AEW guy. And so I think that's unique to this idea of him going to All In and winning. And there's the Owen Hart Cup tournament, which if anybody embodies the spirit of Owen Hart, it's Bryan Danielson. He hasn't been in the Owen Hart Cup tournament yet. This is his first time competing in it. And I feel like he's going to win. I feel like it just makes too much sense for him to win this tournament. I feel like the second he got there, people are like, this is the guy. This is the guy that should win that tournament. And the fact that he hasn't done a tournament yet is kind of a big deal. Like,
and he still got to wrestle Nigel McGuinness, because Nigel McGuinness been hating. He's been hating for free. At this point, if the retirement match isn't Bryanson versus McGuinness, what are we doing?
Nigel needs to get a shot.
Nigel does need to get a shot, but if he wins the belt, I don't need to see that Nigel match.
It's I've been seeing another kind of theory of Bryan wins the tournament, Bryan beats Swerve at All In, and then Swerve comes back at Wrestle Dream in Washington and wins the belt in Washington.
Yeah, that could be, if because of course we've got Ospreay versus Swerve coming up at Forbidden Door. I don't hate the idea of Bryan versus Ospreay at Wembley either. I think having that rematch based on the story you told with the first match at Dynasty, that does make a lot of sense. I do think it's too soon for Swerve to lose, though. And so I still am predicting that Swerve is going to beat Ospreay. But again, I don't hate the idea of Ospreay versus Bryan at Wembley. At this point, I don't know what to believe. I do think at the very least, Bryan is going to win the Owen Hart Cup tournament. It just makes too much sense. And even if he loses at Wembley, I still think you get that big moment of him at that show.
Right.
But you can't tease us with this again. We've gotten so close to him winning the world title so many times. He's arguably giving us two of the best AEW World Championship matches ever. He was right there when all of the brawl out stuff happened. He was in the finals match against Mox, lost that one as well. We all will try to forget that trilogy of Jericho matches where they didn't just put the Ring of Honor world title back on him.
That was weird.
I can't see him finishing his time as a full-time wrestler with AEW and not holding that belt. It feels like it has to happen.
I agree. And I don't want Swerve to drop the belt, but him winning it back in his hometown would be that would be real cute or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to describe it because I agree. Like, I don't think he should drop it so soon. But like winning it in your hometown, that's something I am a jaded WWE fan. You don't win in your hometown.
Right.
You lose canonically. So for him to win would be real cute. Like, I don't know how to describe it besides like that would be real cute for him to do so. I don't want him to drop the belt. I don't know how we do this. This is
But I mean,
into a corner, huh?
But I mean, August is a ways away. So if
Yep.
he retains against Ospreay, he still got some time all the
That's
way
what
up
I'm
in August.
Mm-hmm.
So August is what, like 5 months? Because he won in April.
Mm-hmm.
A 5-month run is not that short.
And especially with how he's been, the matches he's been having already. He's already been building a great resume. Think about the time that he does get to August. He's going to have so many fire matches by then.
Yeah, because I mean, he's got the Ospreay match coming up. He's had some great defenses on TV so far that I think people are not giving the credit that they should. Because I thought the Roddy match this week was great. I thought the Claudio match, his first week as champion, was excellent. And the Christian match at Double or Nothing was also very good. And I mean, I have no doubt that this Ospreay match is going to be a banger. It's Ospreay. Ospreay don't have bad matches.
Yeah.
So it just depends on how the rest of this plays out. I could very much see Bryan ending the night at Wembley with that belt.
Same.
And like I said, it just feels like he deserves it. It feels like this is the big win post WWE that we've been waiting for him to get.
Getting another WrestleMania 30-esque moment would be insane. As someone who was at WrestleMania 30, and it was one of my favorite wrestling moments ever, thinking of Wembley, the way that the relationship that Bryan has with the UK, the relationship that Bryan has with the AEW crowd, just everything connected to it. Thinking of him at the end with everybody doing fucking yes chants and everybody going ham would be crazy.
But this is what I'm saying. The story that they've told, this would just be too good. The story of him raising up to his feet and struggling to keep up with Ospreay and starting a yes chant and still losing the way that he did. I feel like he's gonna get that big moment in front of the biggest crowd this company can give him. Bro, I'm probably gonna legit cry if he holds that belt over his head and Final Countdown is blaring. Like,
I'm like the Swerve. I don't want Swerve to leave, but the Ospreay match, the Ospreay rematch, and Bryan beats him.
Wouldn't be a bad story to tell.
In Wembley,
gonna hold you. I'm thinking like, bro, that would be such a visual. And then the Swerve was really on his bullshit. Attack him.
I think Swerve's gonna be babyface from now on.
He's too over, bro.
Back there, yeah.
I
have been seeing one scenario
to cut a promo on someo's baby. I don't think you could ever be a babyface after that.
Not a full
this
one.
guy was on TV dancing with an old lady. Like, he's out of here, bro.
He's
talking about he's out of here.
I have seen one scenario that's a lot of people think that Hangman's gonna beat Bryan in the finals of the Owen.
I do think Hangman will be back by the Owen if I had to guess, but I feel like this is gonna turn into the run that Kingston had in the Continental Classic, where he's gonna see all of these like ghosts of Christmas past that he couldn't beat before, and this time he's gonna beat them.
Because people, I guess, want the Hangman and Swerve for the championship at least once.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't be mad if that was the Wembley match either. But man, if you're gonna tempt us with Bryan wrestling for the title at Wembley, don't just take that away from us. Don't do that to us, man.
Bryan would do that though. This is kind of his sicko fantasy. It's crazy.
Absolutely. But
remember,
yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, very excited for the Owen based on just that storyline alone.
Right. I think we have one more super chat. Leonard Aarons III says, people wanting Penna to go to WWE after seeing what they've done to Charlotte's husband. Serves him right running back there. And Jade.
Not Charlotte's husband.
And Jade, tired tag team trope is some typical nasty IWC stuff.
I mean, I think Jade's doing fine.
Yeah.
I like Jade, and I'm gonna say something. Okay. Jade doing the same exact shit she was doing in AEW.
Totally.
Good for her. Get your money, honey. And they
Right.
made a big deal about her. It's eventually leading on. We meeting people where they at. You guys are expecting Bailey matches from Liv Morgan's, okay? Knock it off. Yeah, you gotta get in where you fit it. And also calling Andrade, Charlotte's husband, diabolical. That's nasty work.
It's crazy. But I mean, checks out. Thanks, Lennon.
I don't know if that checks out, buddy. Don't know about all that.
Does it check out? Are they married? Did they sign on the dotted line? Did two people? Did an officiant say you guys are married?
You may not have liked what he said, Phil, but you cannot say he wasn't telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You may not have liked what he said. You may not like how he said it.
I'm not letting y'all talk crazy about Lasambra like that.
Yeah, no, that definitely was. Leonard
what's
Aaron
going on?
definitely added derogatory to the end of that.
I'm not letting y'all talk about Lasambra like
Charlotte's
this, man.
husband, derogatory.
Come on,
That's
bro.
definitely what that was.
But they did have what's going. He came back in the Rumble. He got the big fanfare, and I was like, oh. And then here we are.
You don't like Speed? Have
I
you
still
seen an
haven't-
episode of Speed?
No.
You,
Not
Krista?
one.
The
Hey,
show
man,
with
maybe-
Keanu Reeves. That's the only Speed I know. That's the only Speed that I know. Like they got a TV show with that with the bus. I thought they got the girl off the bus. What
With
happened?
the bus. They were never going to get me with 3 minutes. Like if it was 5 minutes, I probably would do it. But 3 minutes is egregious.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe part of the reason Ricochet dropped that belt is because he's leaving.
Don't blame him. Honestly, don't blame if Gable wants to leave as well. I think Gable would be amazing in TNA. I'm just thinking about some of the X Division matches he would have. And I know everyone's like,
Man.
girl, nobody want to see that. But I do. But
I
I
would
do.
understand
Man.
Gable because they just started pushing him. But like most of his stuff has been not getting pushed.
I mean, Gable is currently in the middle of his biggest push ever with the company. I can't see him leaving and going, hey, I'm about to go over there and wrestle on TNA, which looks like a sinking ship at the moment. Like, I don't see that happening.
I don't think
don't know.
anybody's gonna. I don't think nobody that's in negotiations right now is gonna leave.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could see someone like a Becky Lynch. You know, if the if AEW pay her right and give her a compelling storyline, I could see it.
Rollins gonna be tight.
Yeah,
I mean, you could be Mad Rollins or Tyler Black. Bring your tired pussy right on over. You know what I mean?
He just signed a contract. He ain't going nowhere.
no,
Didn't
he
he
ain't
just sign an extension?
he locked in.
You know what? You
Ain't
need
going
to
nowhere.
do what old boy did to get out of his AEW contract. Go punch someone in the back.
We about to get the Rollins footage.
Woo!
Who would he
Yeah.
punch? Punk?
Andrade.
He punches Andrade.
Andrade's like, it's not my first rodeo. Come on, I'll make it look good.
Yeah. What I consider like the unofficial Rollins footage every time I see it is Brock coming back in the back and throwing that belt at Vince. And the whole time Rollins is just sitting there like this and not flinching. Like, that's your guy.
Yeah, like it
That's-
could have been
that's-
me. I would
that's
not
your
have
guy?
thrown this belt at you. Brock. Pretty gross. Yeah,
I
that's
heard
all
that
I
name in a long time.
Brock Lesnar. Is he gone for good or I saw him trending? I don't click stuff because I'm mind my business.
I don't think we're seeing Brock no time soon.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're gonna need to get their things fixed before we do that.
I don't
You
think
know
we're seeing Brock no time soon, buddy.
Honestly, I'm a Brock hater. I started watching at peak Brock fucking terrorism. Honestly, good. Bye. Good riddance. You were employee of the month and you would show up to work twice a year. Get the fuck out of here. I'm sick of honestly, as a person, I hope everything works out for you. As a wrestler, good riddance.
Can we talk about also how the Brock and Brock and Roman Reigns have like broken people's brains and how they now expect your champion to not be on TV regularly. And because of that, what Swerve is doing, people are like, well, why is he on TV? Why isn't he on the main event? Why is he doing this? Hey, because that's what a champion's supposed to do. Champion is supposed to be there to promote the brand. At this moment, Swerve is on both shows.
Mm-hmm.
He be showing up on Dynamite and he shows up on Collision. I would think that that's what you would want the face of your company to do. The idea of your face of your company being at home for most of its run or not wrestling regularly on TV. No, I don't. I'm good on that. I don't need to see it.
I've seen it. We saw the shit with Max, who defended it fucking rarely. Now I want a champion that's gonna be here defending this shit, dude.
And I mean, it worked for Max because Max was a heel. His whole idea of work smarter, not harder, that works with his character. But I don't need that to be the norm.
It would make sense for Swerve's character.
No. I think we got one last HumperChat. And that is from Victor. He says, I am proud to be the savior of the sickos. A lot of sickos references.
Baby.
A lot of sickos references after that Tony Khan tweet this week. Funny times. I think it continues to be funny that he continues to act like a message boarder, and the people that were also message boarders or relate, they love it. But the people outside of that audience that don't understand, they are continuously either confused by it or they're like trying to have a business conversation with him of, oh man, it's cool that you keep trying to preach to your same choir, but that's not going to grow your audience. Like, bro, it's a tweet. Shut up. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, right. You can tell when some people have never been on a forum before. Like, listen, I get it. Sometimes Tony just be unhinged tweeting, but so do I. It's just a tweet, and as long as you're not
a tweet, bro,
getting hurt or harmed, I don't want to hear Vince wouldn't have done that. Vince don't even know how to Twitter. Okay, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that shit.
See, this is why your company sucks, because he tweeted. Like, how this correlation? Why are you making these correlations?
The company can suck for other reasons. Tweeting, I don't think it's a problem. You know what I mean? I don't think tweeting here is the problem.
Like, tweeting isn't the reason, you dumb idiots. Delayed Grat says, I am slow clapping Phil for his take on how Brock and Roman conditioned us and the wrestling media on what we can expect from champs. Swerve is doing just fine. Totally.
Yeah. I think he's been a great champion. I don't know. Could be a little bit of bias there because I am a Swerve fan, but I think he's doing great.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for your super chats and humper chats. Y'all are dope.
Yeah, I believe that is our last humper chat and our last super chat. It has been fun as always. You guys keep trying to get us to do a 4-hour podcast, and I have no interest in doing that.
0%.
Appreciate TZ for coming through again. Check out his album. Appreciate Cresta coming through. This feels very close to Wale on What Culture Getting Bantu Knots.
Yeah, this is one of our blackest podcasts. We just have a black woman doing her hair while it's happening.
Listen, when you got Grapsody at 4, Hustle Glory at 5, Collision at 8, you do what you gotta do, okay? I could talk about wrestling and curl my hair.
I love it.
Yeah, we got TZ earlier doing the old school raps. I thought he was gonna hit it. I was rolling, I was poly. I hit the Canadian Destroyer.
What a black ass font. I love it.
But man, appreciate you guys as always. This has been Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey, Crest Star, Righteous Reg. We are out of here.
Bye, nerds.